No red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Shawnee Mission Ford is under all new management, and Shawnee Mission is dealing because summer's better at the lake, on a road trip or hauling a backyard project, and summer's simply better in a Ford. So if you have not shopped Shawnee Mission Ford in a while, well, the rules have changed in your favor. They're never going to be undersold. They're always going to make you feel like family. In fact, if you bring them any written offer on the same vehicle, they will match it or beat it, period. And right now, the F-150 is even better. Get 2.9% APR plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash on the new 2026 F-150. That's right, only 2.9% with $1,000 of bonus cash, making the F-150 the truck you could afford this summer. Shop them right now at ShawneeMissionFord.com. That's ShawneeMissionFord.com. Just off I-35 on Shawnee Mission Parkway. Life's better in a Ford. Discover yours today at Shawnee Mission Ford. 2.9% APR with approved credit through Ford Credit. Auto buyers will qualify. Excludes Raptor dealer administration fee $7.99. Price match applies to a valid written offer from a licensed dealer on an identical in-stock vehicle with comparable mileage and the same trade valuation. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
Tune in for the Fan Club Fridays at 1 o'clock with Cody and Gold, presented by Circus Sports. Want your shot at $30 million in guaranteed prizes? Enter one of Circus Sports' premier football contests. Visit circusports.com for details. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. 96.5 The Fan. Tune in to Cody and Gold starting at 10 as they broadcast live from Chiefs training camp with exclusive one-on-one interviews and real-time updates from practice. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, here we go on a Friday live up in St. Joe. Day number 3 of first full team practices was a few days ago we were here, but it's day number 3 now. We're still waiting on the padded practices, but it is I'll call it a beautiful day up in St. Joe here because it's cloudy
this every time,
and it feels really good. It's the nicest day we've had in the few days we've been up here as well. We're watching some of the, what are we doing, 11 on 11 it looks like over there from what I can see from my vantage point. We're going to get to some of the observations, including a great catch from a name that continues to pop up over and over. But welcome in. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp in St. Joe. We got Nathan producing the show back in Kansas City. Coming up a little bit later on in the latter portion of this hour, maybe the beginning of next hour. We're not sure depending on practice. We're expected to be joined exclusively by Nohl Williams, who, Cody, you could be the number 2 corner for this team this year possibly.
I mean, I would prefer it. If we're just like putting in votes, I would like number 1 corner to be Mansour Delane and number 2 to be Nohl Williams, who played less than 50% of the snaps last year. And you and I, for the life of us, spent most of the season wondering, why was it so little? Why did they have Shamari Connor in there so much? Why did they put some of these other guys taking snaps away when it seemed like he was clearly the second-best corner last year, I thought, for a huge majority of the season? So I hope he obviously gets more run this year. He's been running with the ones so far this year, so we would think that would be the case. But, yeah, looking forward to talking to Nohl. I don't think we've ever interviewed him.
No, it'd be
first
for us on the show. We don't know a ton about him, but that's actually kind of the cool thing. You know, sometimes we talk to players that they're active on social media. You got a sense of who they are.
Nothing.
We'll ask him about it. He doesn't really do much on social media, and so we'll find out what he gets into in the offseason. Obviously, talk about last year where he played about 44% of the snaps, and we all wanted to see him even more.
Yeah.
Now, he still played more than Jaden Hicks and Christian Fulton and some others, but Nohl Williams could be one of those players that has a breakout type of season. If you were to make a short list of potential breakout players, he's at least on the list. I don't know if he'll be the player, but he's at least on the list. So, yeah, looking forward to talking to him. We're also expected to hear from Andy Reid at the podium after practice to get an update on just where things are at, as well as Drew Tranquil. Yesterday we talked a little bit about the linebacking unit. I'm sure would love to have a bounce-back season after last year as well, but one of the veteran leaders on this defensive staff, he's going to speak to the media. You guys can always interact with us on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965, 913-586-7965. And our training camp coverage here in St. Joe is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Let's start with a few things we've already witnessed here today. And I mentioned the name that continues to pop up, Cyrus Allen. And 10, 15 minutes ago, Cyrus Allen made the best catch of camp. I know it's early.
One-handed, over the middle. The ball was zooming from Mahomes. I'd say that probably is the best catch so far.
In between two or three players, that is something that continues to come up here at camp. That Cyrus Allen clearly has the trust of Patrick Mahomes. He does not throw that football in that spot, even with a practice setting, even with no pads, unless he trusts Cyrus Allen. We know Andy Reid 2 days ago mentioned that Pat's got some trust there. That was it on display. I don't want to overreact to what we think he's going to do this year, but he is making an impact in the early portion of camp more than anybody else on the field as far as getting discussed in the media. Certainly, if Andy Reid's willing to talk about him the way he has, that's a good sign.
Well, I guess the difference is for this versus some previous training camps where Alex and I might be like, hey, we know Jody Fortson or Justin Ross are turning a couple of heads in practices. Well, they were wide receiver 6 or tight end 4. I mean, it's harder to have an actual impact on the regular season. Wide receiver 4 is open. That is open for business. Like, that is an available job. And so if Cyrus Allen's going to make noise now, that means more than some previous guys that we have been careful to discuss in their impact. And so I'm not saying Allen's the 4th. He's going to have 600 yards receiving. It's all coming together. But he's clearly ahead of Royals, and he's clearly ahead of several other guys at the moment. Like that I don't need to see. Like, I don't need to see him in pads to know that as at this moment, he's ahead of them on the depth chart.
Yeah, I mean, his competition for the 4th spot, I think you said the name, Jalen Royals and Nico Armigio, and that's probably it. And so I still think Tyquan Thornton is the number 3 wide receiver for this team. We don't need to now overreact and act like he's leapfrogging everybody. He goes from questioning if he's the 5th receiver to now number 3. No, I think it's about whether or not he can emerge as a number 4 wide receiver by the end of camp for this team. But it is a huge step in the right direction for him with what he just did, but also, again, the fact that Patrick Mahomes trusts him. It's not just that he's running out there with the ones. That's huge, but we also have seen that rotation because, again, today at right tackle, Benson is getting first-team reps, and I know some people will take that as they're giving him a real chance. I tend to still think, and Nate Taylor kind of suggested this with us a couple days ago, that they know what they have in Jalen Moore. So give Benson plenty of opportunities as a first stringer here for a few days at practice. Find out what you got. We know offensive line injuries happen. You want to have someone that's prepared to step in if need be. And look, if he just blows them out of the water, then we can have a conversation. I still maintain I don't think it's a competition there. But long term, if Benson's getting these first-team reps, and in preseason you know he's going to play a lot, I would assume, that can bode well for them in the future.
Yeah, look, I tend to lean your direction on it at the moment. And I could be proven wrong in a couple of days. There's no doubt about it. Because if they start getting to pads or multiple padded practices or a preseason game, and he's out there at right tackle, well then, it'll tell us a different story. The only thing I've consistently pointed out, and it was more last year than this year, but if for some reason Benson were to start getting a lot more of these first-team reps, that's worth pointing out is Jalen Moore has never started a season as a starter. That is not unimportant. Like, he has never entered week 1 of an NFL season on an NFL roster as a starting tackle. That's a starter at all. I know they paid him like that. He's a really expensive backup tackle, or he was last year, and they ended up needing it pretty bad. But at the same time, it's like, that's why I would never 100% rule it out. But I guess I also just viewed it as not a competition, and I still don't, at least up to this moment. The other thing that stood out yesterday, and we're seeing more of it today too, more and more is, are the Chiefs playing coy, or are they trying to practice something that they are planning on doing? Over the last 2 practices, the Chiefs have spent more time under center in practice reps than they probably spent in real reps during the regular season in 17 games last year. Like, legitimately, way less RPOs, way more under center. We talked about this with Kenneth Walker and his preferred running style and the way he prefers to run and has, which is under center, and the RPOs and taking some of those decisions out of Mahomes' hands because he tends to like to pass and doesn't run it as much in those scenarios. They got a good back. and the health and all this other stuff where you open yourself up to getting hit. I don't think it's the death of the RPO. I don't think that's out of their offense.
It shouldn't be.
But I do think it is going to be reduced this year. I'm officially there.
Well, that's the dream scenario. It should not be eliminated. It can be an effective thing. There's a reason why teams run it. There's a reason why the Chiefs have run it. It just got to be where they were doing it too much and where Patrick Mahomes, and because of the run game and because of the other issues, it was not being as deceptive as it should be. And this year, if in fact what we're seeing at camp, that they're going to be more willing to go under center, maybe it's because of Kenneth Walker, maybe it's just also an acknowledgement of the scheme last year and the issues with it. Either way, whatever the reason is for it, if it's more balanced, that's a great thing. It'll make the RPO effective. That's the other thing. So the RPO should not go away.
Believe they might run.
Exactly. It's not about eliminating the RPO. It's just about having something that allows teams or causes teams to focus in on so the RPO is effective, and also so Patrick Mahomes is more confident in handing the ball off if he's getting the proper look that he wants at the line of scrimmage.
So I'm going to remind people of these stats last year because this is the part that should give you at least a little, not hesitance, but concern. The Chiefs' issue, believe it or not, over the last 2 years statistically, has not been running under center. They're actually pretty good at it. They were good with Kareem Hunt. They're good in a lot of situations at running under center. They are one of the top 10 most effective teams. They were bottom 10 in the NFL in throwing under center. And so that's the part where I don't think shotgun's going away and RPO's going away, but it's also where Patrick Mahomes has to probably grow, other than maybe the deep ball coming back. It's probably where he has to grow the most. He has been inconsistent throwing the ball under center. They have not been good or effective at throwing the ball under center. They actually run the ball under center fine. Why? Well, I don't know. They got a future Hall of Fame center, a really good right guard, a former tackle at left guard. They got big bodies.
There's too much talent on the offensive line for the run scheme. And we've talked about this over and over all offseason. Whether it's the scheme, whether it was the running backs, combination of the two, there's too much talent. And now you have the talent running back as well for the run game not to be more effective. Whether that is under center or run game, again, in the RPO is fine. So, yeah, I like that. I mean, yesterday, what was it? More than half of the time Mahomes was under center during 11-on-11 yesterday. I don't think that's
and they're doing it again today.
Yeah, I don't think that's just them messing around. I think that's something that they clearly are wanting to get Mahomes comfortable with as well. I remember this is not only the knee injury, but this is a quarterback that rarely went under center, and so there's a difference there for the exchange between him and Creed. You want to make sure that's significant for them moving forward as well, and successful, I should say. So we'll see, man. I like it. I mean, I think it's a promising sign. It's kind of what we've wanted to see. Let's see, ultimately, when we get further into camp and the preseason, and ultimately week one, if that's actually the case. But, yeah, I like it, and we got, I don't know, maybe another 25, 30 minutes of some 11-on-11 work.
This is 7-on-7
and now. They've now switched to 7-on-7, yeah. But Mahomes is out there with the ones right now, so we'll keep an eye on that and see if Cyrus Allen and others continue to make some plays as Xavier Worthy gets a pass on an out route.
Beat Mansour Delane to the outside, who is in the 7-on-7 period, but, again, still in the yellow non-contact jersey. I take Nate. Nate told us yesterday, and I think that's a good way to look at it. He's like, I'll start getting a little worried if we get to padded practices and the jersey's not off. My thing is still game one. If by game one he's still wearing a yellow jersey, that's 2 weeks away. Like 2 weeks should be enough time to get him out of that. If he's not out of it by then I'm like, okay, a little bit concerning because he's not going to have that many, he won't have any training camp reps left to get ready to go, which means only now practice in the lead up to it, maybe a preseason game. And so it's worth keeping an eye out on, but I'm not going to, I'm not going to do it. Mansour's also struggled a little bit here and there sometimes at practice, so we'll see. But he can't make contact. That's not – his style of play is a little bit like Snead's. He likes to be physical. He likes to make that a part of how he plays. So imagine it's a little harder to cover when you can't, make any contact.
Coming up in 20 minutes, we'll be joined by Jake Eisenberg, of course, for the Royals Radio Network. They are in Colorado tonight, are the Royals, opening up a series against the Rockies. Don't worry, here in a second we're going to talk about – I won't say an unbelievable collapse because it is very believable with this bullpen, but just an absolutely absurd collapse in the ninth inning yesterday against the Minnesota Twins. So that's coming up in just a second, plus Jake Eisenberg. Also, don't forget, Cloudy with a Chance has a weather report for us coming up in about 8 minutes or so. But let's briefly talk Royals. I know we're at camp, but I do want to address it because, man, we have seen so many ninth innings this year where they've blown a lead, right? That's not new. But yesterday, after Noah Cameron, which is the biggest positive of the entire game, 8 innings, 1 hit allowed, no runs given up, solid, 97 pitches. They go to the bullpen, up 3, ninth inning. Lucas Erceg, gets the first two guys out. Actually looked kind of like Lucas Erceg for a bit, for the first time in a month and a half.
Maybe all season.
Then cannot get the third out. He's ahead in the count 0-2 multiple times. I think 5 or 6 pitches he threw while I was up 0-2. Ends up loading the bases. Then they go to Matt Strahm, who's been a joke all season long. Was supposed to be one of their big acquisitions in the offseason. He goes and gives up a walk-off grand slam. They lose 4-3. It's the first walk-off grand slam in MLB history when the team was down by 3 with 2 outs, 2 strikes, 0-2 count. This is the 5th worst bullpen now in Royals team history.
They have a 9.5 earned run average in the 9th inning.
And we still got 2 months to go.
Look, in the long run, if I were just trying to, make myself feel better, the more important thing for the team is that Noah Cameron is good again and that he can maintain good starts for the rest of the season. So great.
Yep.
That win doesn't even allow you to let that enter your brain for a minute, or that loss, sorry, doesn't even allow you to let that enter your brain for a minute, because this is like the 5th time this year that they have had some hideous, awful, kick you in the stomach feeling loss across the board, and you're like, what's wrong here? And at some point it's like, I see Barlow in AAA, I'm like, I don't care who it is, but you keep throwing out Lucas Erceg. You keep letting Strahm pitch late. No, it's got to be anyone else at this point. I don't care if it's Barlow from a billion years ago or Alex Lang or a million.
Lang wasn't available. He has been closing. He wasn't available. But I get your point.
But literally anyone else. I'm not kidding. I think sometimes they're like, oh, no, you say that too loosely. No, anyone. Or, and this is the other part where, I know that they're somewhat limited on innings, is they've done this all year where your bullpen stinks. And look, it doesn't matter from a win perspective in the sense that it's not like if they got that one, they were going to propel themselves to the postseason. But this is also the 15th time this year that they pulled a starter early and wouldn't let the guy go past 85 pitches. Yeah, just let Noah Cameron pitch the 9th.
Yeah, so that one, look, fair argument. I'm not gonna push back on whether or not Noah Cameron should have gone back out in the 9th. I would have been fine with it. I don't think I know Matt Quatrero, everybody wants to blame everything on him. How about Lucas Erceg does his damn job? How about Matt Strahm gets a freaking out? That, there's, and that it's on those two players. Therefore, it's also on the front office. There is still at some point what Matt Quatrero. Yeah, you could throw out Noah Cameron with 97 pitches. Sure, why not? At this point in time, he's gotten.
What do you have to lose?
He's gotten deep. He's gotten deeper. But also, when you do make the change, Cody, his options to go to are Lucas Erceg and Matt Strahm.
That's a JJ problem.
They can't get 3 outs. So I understand
3 outs and not give up 3 runs. You can give up 2.
I understand both sides of that entire argument. But Lucas Erceg is clearly mentally shook, doesn't have any confidence.
No.
He probably needs a trip down to Omaha. And then Matt Strahm was supposed to be one of their biggest reliever acquisitions in the offseason. He was very good last year for the Phillies. I think it was the Phillies, right? Yeah, last year. Yeah. And he has been abysmal. I think it was kind of jerky to some of the media in the postgame. I don't know if you heard that yesterday as well. I don't know if they're willing to just cut ties with him or not, but it's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess, and the trade deadline is here 3 days or so away. Anybody that remotely can bring you back something that's not your core should just be gone, man.
I think so. And look, Noah Cameron's coming off back-to-back starts, 15 total innings, 3 hits, no runs. So, he's been awesome. 15 strikeouts, too, by the way, in those innings, Gold. Noah Cameron, maybe whatever small adjustment needed, because the stuff is not – we know what his stuff is. His thing is always if the command's off, then he can't pitch. But the bullpen plan this year, oh, man, could it have gone worse?
Think about
legitimately, it could have gone with Carlos Estevez, Lucas. They all stink. They brought in Matt Strahm. They are all awful.
And think about it. Carlos Estevez had 42 saves last year, right? Led the big leagues in saves. He had 42 saves. He, from day one, gives up the grand slam, doesn't pitch again, essentially, the rest of the year. Matt Strahm was your big offseason reliever acquisition. He's been a disaster. Lucas Erceg doesn't look anything like the way he did 2 years ago or whatever when they first acquired him.
Yeah.
Those were the guys that we all thought were the sure things in the bullpen, and then you'd fill it in. John Schreiber's just been John Schreiber. Your average.
I don't have any complaint. Schreiber's doing the job that's
what I'm saying.
Probably paid to do.
But the guys you were expecting to be your closer to elite pitchers either haven't been available or have been horrendous.
What's so funny, too, is we look back at these situations, and if it, genuinely, had they changed this up a little bit, Gold, had had the starting pitchers been simply just better or not hurt during the season, we probably would have seen Luinder Avila close games with Alex Lang and all these other guys. But that's the problem. And this is why you should trade your reliever. Someone's like, well, they can't trade Alex Lang. They got control. They can trade any reliever. You know why? Because in the blink of an eye,
every single one of them.
This is the sign to trade Lynch. Like, no, but this is your sign. Because Lucas Erceg was one of the best relievers in baseball 2 years ago. He can't get an out. He's got the yips. You know, like Matt Strahm has been one of the most consistent left-handed relievers in all of baseball for 7 years. He can't get an out without giving up a home run. And so if you needed a sign that Lynch or Alex Lang or any of these guys should be available, I don't know why you wouldn't take this one. Those guys were great for you. You're trying to recreate magic from 2 seasons ago now. I won't care. Like in 2027, we won't be able to keep referencing the fact that they were 2 years ago in a playoff spot. I almost knocked my chair off.
Cody almost fell off the
Well, it was the chair
platform.
more than the me. I was worried I was going to knock the thing off. I was going to make a big loud noise. But when you look at that version of it, it's like I won't. We'll be too far removed from. Oh yeah, you made the playoffs once. The core is good, we think, offensively, but the pitching has fallen apart. How can Noah Cameron and Luinder Avila have been 2 of your most consistent guys? We were hoping Avila wouldn't even see the rotation this year. I told you I thought he'd have an impact this year. I was hoping he'd be like an 8th inning guy, 7th inning guy. Instead, he's making starts on the regular. Man, that game was annoying.
Yeah, again, yesterday was not unbelievable. It was very much believable, but it was that one was just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting to lose it in that fashion in the 9th inning as the Royals now head to Colorado.
In the time when we were talking, by the way, Cyrus Allen made another great catch.
Yeah, he continued.
He was on this.
It's something. It's definitely something.
There's not nothing there.
Cyrus Allen continues to be the headliner of training camp.
Nohl Williams was all over him. It was a sideline pass, and he reeled it in despite the very tight coverage. Now we're down near the red zone, and Mahomes is whipping it into Travis. That we're used to.
Yeah, that one looks familiar. That little pass in the middle of the field looks
little hitch route or whatever.
Looks familiar. All right, let's get to Cloudy with the Chance. He's got a weather report.
With your training camp.
We can't hear anything, by the way. I think we just lost it.
It has paused. Yeah, give me just a second.
Okay. All right, we didn't know if we disconnected. Let us know when we got that again. I thought we completely disconnected there. I heard
we were worried we lost you, Nathan.
We thought we lost connection altogether. Don't forget Camp Darling Island also coming up, and obviously, let's just elephant in the room. Let's just get out of the way. Cyrus Allen will not be getting eliminated today from Camp Darling Island. I'm pretty sure right now he is the leader in the clubhouse to win the whole thing. Although we haven't got the pads yet, so I don't want to say it yet. But right now he looks like a winner for Camp Darling Island.
All right,
someone's got to get voted off. But let's get to Cloudy with a Chance.
With your training camp forecast, I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a Chance. Wow, what a week for producer JT and this whole shoe sex thing. Let me kick things off here by saying that usually the heat is undefeated this time of year, but today it won't knock your socks off. Sunny and 86 with a chance for a pop-up storm. And JT, you got a good one there to put up with all your feet stuff. Sounds like you really found your soulmate. With your training camp forecast, I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a Chance for Cody and Gold on 96.5 The Fan.
Thank you, Cloudy, for that. Well done. Well done. Yeah, JT's not producing today. He is today off.
You want to admit to anything weird sexually,
Nathan,
while you're producing the show today?
This is the time for you to let us know if you got any weird quirks.
Big shoes to fill for JT today for sure. My wife and I are, if we could, now listen, we are not in defeat. If that's your thing, that's great. If I have my socks or especially my shoes on during she might leave me, guys. Like this is, and we have I love my wife. There are no problems. Haley, she is real. She's a ride or die. I cannot believe.
Clearly.
I cannot believe. And you guys had her on yesterday, and she said, "Yeah, I didn't. Maybe like 6 months in, I noticed it. What? This guy's got his shoes on every time. Look. Haley's very kind. I've enjoyed getting to know her. She loves him more than anybody I've ever known to love somebody else. It is. I have no weird sex stuff to admit to at this point in time.
At this point, wait, hold on. Now, you don't that you want to admit to, or you don't have any at all?
Preferences change, like food.
Or you just don't want to admit stuff.
Now,
that you know.
If it comes up naturally in the random question, maybe we'll find something out. I'm not holding anything back.
Well, in fairness, JT didn't realize how weird it was until we talked about it on the air.
Exactly.
And I still, even today, got more. I have gotten more messages about that clip than anything we've done on the show in a very long time.
Yeah.
I have had people that do radio in other markets that have reached out to me in the last 24 hours that I haven't heard from in a very long time. That's how absurd that whole thing was. But thanks to Cloudy and that weather report was one of the better ones we've had in a bit.
I mean, it's just like it's fair. It's more than fair. Look, JT has been a good sport about it. We appreciate him filling in for 4 days this week, but twice. And then he pronounced that, and then he didn't help himself. 2 days later, he had to pronounce that poor professor's
Yeah, Nathan,
name.
he was trying to pronounce a professor's name. Instead of saying, like, Gucci, it should have been Pucci.
Yeah.
But he obviously went in a different direction.
Yeah, he's been descript this week, I would say. I've been racking my brain for how to be as, like, click-worthy as JT has been this week. I can't. It's natural.
It's difficult.
For him. It's unbelievable.
He just did it to himself this week. There's just no doubt about it. It's going to be difficult for you, Nathan. And honestly, you might not wish it upon yourself, you know?
No,
he's going to need a couple of days to recalibrate.
I would say it's been he's been totally the biggest story around the office this week.
What I want to know is if we could convince him to do a pedicure, how much money could we raise for the Cody and Gold Garage Sale?
Oh my God.
You go get a pedicure with JT. How much money could we get? He's got to get a pedicure with somebody. Oh, sitting right next to him. Just you and JT, you know? Hey, we look for custom experiences for the Cody and Gold Garage Sale, you know? That'll keep it that way.
Thank you, Nathan. By the way, some breaking news in the broadcast world. We all know that there was the OWI stop for Tony Romo in Wisconsin. CBS Sports just announced that Tony Romo is on leave from his role until further notice. The season, of course, doesn't start till September, so I don't know if that is like, hey, he's going to be on leave for a month when he technically isn't broadcasting anyway, or if this is going to go into the season, but they have put him on leave, or he is on leave until further notice after the video had come out of the OWI.
This feels like a classic, like he's seeking some treatment. He'll be back. I mean, I don't think they're just going to get rid of Tony Romo, are they?
Unless they're not, I mean, he's not a massive contract. Let's put it this way: if they were looking for a reason to get rid of him, they have their reason. But I don't know if they really want to. If
they're really looking for a reason, that would be the question. So, yeah, of note, definitely for sure.
All right, up next, let's keep talking a little Royals baseball with Jake Eisenberg, who is in Colorado. We'll talk about the collapse yesterday, the trade deadline a few days away, and then we'll get to Camp Darling Island and find out who's getting voted off today.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
It's the summer sales event at Robside Ford. Your chance to upgrade without the stress. Robside joins me now. Rob, what's the offer?
0% financing, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on nearly the entire Ford lineup.
That's a serious summer deal.
Sure is. And unlike your brisket last weekend, these deals aren't dry.
Okay, that's fair. These savings are definitely juicy.
And we're backing it up with 2 years of complimentary maintenance, a non-commissioned sales team, and top trade-in values.
No pressure. No gimmicks at Robside Ford. The way car buying should be.
We're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 Google reviews, and a better experience from start to finish.
So skip the smoke and the dry meat. This summer, start at Robside Ford.
135th and State Line or robsighc.com. 0% financing, $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 2 years of complimentary maintenance.
Robside Ford. Buy right. Drive happy. And next time, maybe stick to potato salad.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Have you ever seen a drive-thru as less of a lunch option and more as a challenge? We can help. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com. You know how avoiding eye contact with people when your brakes screech makes it less awkward? It doesn't. But you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boost. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Chiefs training camp coverage sponsored by Border Magic, giving your landscape its winning edge. This football season, give your home a winning edge with Border Magic. Custom concrete landscape edging adds lasting beauty and unbeatable curb appeal. Choose from a variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. SouthKC.BorderMagic.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, Cody and Gold back here in St. Joe at Chiefs training camp. Reminder, coming up after practice, Nohl Williams, Chiefs corner, will join us exclusively here from St. Joe, and our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Before we get to Camp Darling Island and find out who maybe gets kicked off the island today, we know who's going to be safe, but who could get kicked off? We'll do that in about 10 minutes or so. Let's go out to the Golden Oak Lending phone line and welcome in Jake Eisenberg from the Royals Radio Network. Jake, I caught the final inning yesterday on your call on the radio, and after Irsay got the first two outs, you were already kind of setting it up. Unfortunately, that all right, here's the struggle. This is what the struggle has been, and then unfortunately, it ended up being as bad as we had seen all year. Man, just take me through the ninth inning yesterday a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wish you would have listened to the first 8 innings, because that was way more fun than what the ninth inning had in store for us. Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing where we've seen it before. The ninth inning has given this Royals team struggles, and specifically, for whatever reason, getting that final out has been like this, it's like Sisyphus rolling a rock up the hill. You get to the top, and then that third out, you just can't get it to the summit. And so I looked up the numbers of the Royals bullpen in the ninth inning, specifically with 2 outs, and they're not pretty. And unfortunately, that's what came to pass yesterday. And it's the sort of thing where, it's an ultimate slam. Like, this is a moment that's not happened very much in baseball history. And so I guess I'll just pull back the curtain, like, as a broadcaster. It's like, in those kinds of moments, I try to do my best to describe what's happening and give the moment the emotion that it deserves. But I do think there's a distinct difference between elation in emotion and dejection in emotion. And so you do your best to call the moment, framing it within the proper perspective of, like, the Royals lose, not the Twins win. And you try to have the amount of disdain and dejection that a moment like that, authors for your team. And so calling that ninth inning, it's just, you hope that Urseg can get it done. You hope that Strom can get it done. And Urseg looked great through the first 2 batters. And then, the walls came tumbling down.
When you look at, like, going back to, like, the bullpen this season, in some ways, Jake, bullpens can be very hit or miss. They change from year to year. But it feels like everyone hit a regression point, or at least just is having a bad year all at once. I think that's been the most shocking thing to me, is that, Urseg and Estevez and Strom, it seemed like they just got hit with it all at once.
Yeah, and, I was trying to think back to spring training, before injuries, before performance, and the way that we were thinking about this bullpen going into the season. And you're thinking about it as, okay, there's the major league leader in saves coming back to anchor the back end. You just traded for one of the best setup men in baseball over the last 3 years in Matt Strom. Lucas Urseg has proven that he can be, that fireman type guy that can go in the highest leverage situation. John Schreiber can get you a ground ball. Daniel List IV has looked great out of the bullpen. You're looking at this bullpen on paper and thinking, this could be a real strength of this team, and for it to go in the complete opposite direction has frankly been shocking in slow motion,
We're talking to Jake Eisenberg here on 96.5 The Fan. Now, looking ahead, what you can take from this year to next year, a big piece that they would like to be confident in and have confidence with in that rotation is Noah Cameron. I mean, that part, of course, gets lost because of how disgusting the ninth inning was, but Noah Cameron, that's the best he's looked in a very long time.
Yeah, and let's not lose that in the shuffle of the way the game ended, because the way the game started, it's the best pitch game of his career. Second time he's taken a no-hitter into the 7th inning. The first time he did that was his big league debut. And Noah Cameron now, whether it's more conviction because he's calling his own pitches or something else that's also related to it, he's now thrown 15 consecutive scoreless innings when using PitchCom on his left hip and calling his own pitches. We've seen him use the cutter more. We've seen the changeup become a real weapon. That conviction, as much as we talk about it as this, emotional thing, that is real. And we can see a little bit more of a fluidity and a little bit more of a rhythm. And he's looked as good as he's looked since he debuted. There was something he said last night that stuck out, and something that he said to us on our pregame show the other day, where he's talking about kind of pitching angry a little bit. He knows that he hadn't pitched well in his previous outings before that, quote-unquote relief outing against the Tigers. And I think we're seeing sort of an alter ego, angry Noah come out on the mound. And this is not a guy that we know to be particularly fiery or angry. He's one of the best guys to be around. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always willing to chat and say hello. But if he can, take that chip on his shoulder and funnel it into this kind of performance, that's been really fun to watch.
What do you think the Royals need to, what do they want to see these next couple of months? Let's take the trade deadline out of it for just a minute. But, Noah Cameron, we know, is one of those players. Who else do you think is really important for the Royals the rest of the way to kind of get a sense of where they are? Is it continued stuff out of Carter and, Jack Caglione? Is it some of these other guys just getting healthy and making sure that they can still contribute the way we're used to, and Michael Garcia and Kyle Isbell? Because they've missed, maybe 140 games between 4 main players this year?
Yeah, I think it's the guys that you would think are part of the core, that are part of the core, you want to see perform as a core performs. On the position player side, that's obviously Bobby Witt Jr. and Michael Garcia and Vinny Pasquantino, and obviously Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione, which are the two, as relative rookies. Carter's obviously a rookie, and, Jackson his second full season. Those are the two that you want to see continue to take those meaningful steps forward that don't have a track record yet, like Bobby Witt Jr. or Michael Garcia do. So you want to see Carter and Cags continue to have the success that they've been having. And then on the pitching side, it's obviously Noah Cameron. It's also Luinder Avila, who you want to see continue to grow, as a starting pitcher. Can he be a guy that you can rely on as, a middle to back end of the rotation starter, or even front end of the rotation starter in 2027 and beyond? These are the guys that are getting their first opportunities to prove something, and now they have a chance and some runway to prove something. I'd also love to see how Daniel Lynch IV finishes his season. I mean, he has been incredible this year, and because it hasn't necessarily been in a closing situation, it's been in high leverage situations, it might fly under the radar a little bit, but he's been as effective and as consistent as any pitcher in the Royals bullpen this year. So I'd love to see him finish the season strongly the way that he started the season. And then you also look at the other pitchers that are under team control, going forward. Alex Lang has another year of control. How does he finish the season? Steven Cruz, does he blossom into, a closer type of pitcher that you think he can be with a cutter at 95 to 97? I think these are the questions and these are the focuses over the final couple of months now.
Have you asked Daniel Lynch about his desire to maybe start again someday or try to start again someday?
Yeah, I haven't checked in with him on it, somewhat recently, but I remember talking to him about it a little bit earlier this season. And, he's been a starter his entire life. He's got a starter's mentality. And part of that is, I think what's helped him a lot out of the bullpen is that he's been able to attack hitters in different ways, righties and lefties. He has the arsenal to do that, but he's been much more aggressive because he's only pitching 1 inning or 2 innings at a time. I could see a world in which he jumps back into a starter's role at some point to see what that looks like. I could see a role in which he continues to do what he's done because he's had a tremendous amount of success doing it. I think with a pitcher like him, you have a lot of options. And right now, obviously the best option is him doing what he's continued to do because he's been so good at it. But if there is an opportunity, down the road or in the offseason to stretch him out and see, that wouldn't shock me because he's got that in him.
We know the names in Kansas City, at least that potentially could be on the move Monday with the trade deadline. But just across baseball, I know you're just a diehard baseball fan and pay attention to the entire league. Who's the name that maybe you're just keeping an eye on and you're fascinated to see where he ends up?
In terms of being traded?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously fascinated to see where Tarek Skubal gets traded, and especially more interested if he gets traded to a team that the Royals don't have on the schedule the rest of the way. Because as it stands right now, he's pretty good. The Royals are going to see the Tigers again in August. I'd be surprised if he was still with the Tigers, but if he's with a team in the American League the Royals haven't seen, then we'll see Skubal again. I'm equally interested in seeing what the Tigers do with Casey Mize, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was scratched from his start today, which would have been his last start before the All-Star break. I'm curious to see what the White Sox do, how much they push atop the division. I'm curious to see what the Nationals do with former Royal Foster Griffin and where he may find himself, or if he works out an extension with the Nationals. Those are the kinds of things that I'm keeping an eye on. I think starting pitching is always the most interesting. Which teams are going to go out and acquire a starting pitcher that would start a playoff game for them? Those are the needle movers, in my opinion, on the pitching side. And then on the position player side, where does Luis Arraez go? I think Luis Arraez might be the best pure hitter that is a pending free agent that could get traded. He's certainly a fit for a lot of different teams. Where does he wind up? I think that could be a really interesting acquisition for teams around here somewhere.
They went, by the way, with Mize, they just said he's not going to start till Tuesday. So they're just saying, we'll just we'll start him if he's still on the team. If not, we'll let that be someone else's team's off option.
So just in the American League Central, there's some interesting things to keep an eye on, specifically with the Tigers, and then what do the White Sox do? And the Twins made a trade late last night, early this morning, for A.J. Minter from the Mets. So they acquired a bullpen piece. So moves are starting. It's the weekend before the trade deadline.
Well, enjoy Colorado. Coors Field, obviously great setting there in downtown Denver, and we'll check in next week.
Appreciate it, guys.
There you go. Jake Eisenberg joining us here on 96.5 The Fan over on the Golden Oak Lending phone line. Yeah, I mean, for the Royals side of it, I think we know the names that are likely to get moved.
Based on all the reporting, it's not all the names you want.
No, but I mean, Lane Thomas is a no-brainer that you have to move. But yeah, I mean, if you believe the reports that are out there, the Royals are not trading Waka or Lugo
or Lynch or
Lang. Yeah, and that they're going to, at least that portion of run it back is going to happen.
It's interesting because, again,
it's a lot of money to have tied up in 2 35-year-old pitchers next year.
We'll have J.J. Piccolo on next week, the day after the trade deadline, so it'll be an interesting time to talk to him. But how do you balance the injuries didn't derail your season? The season was derailed before anybody was hurt, and clearly the bullpen wasn't any good after Carlos Estevez, so it's not like that was going to solve your problems, while balancing the fact that, and I know, they've missed a ton of games from Bobby, Michael Garcia, Vinny, and Kyle Isbell this year, who were their 4 best players based on WAR last season. So, I understand that made things worse, but how do you make things better to start the year? How do you make things better from where you were? And I don't know, man. It was clearly, even if they'd stayed healthy this year, they weren't going to end up being a playoff team, I think, fairly obviously. Mm-hmm. And so how do you go back and, figure that out, I guess?
Just more of an update from what we were mentioning right before Jake Eisenberg joined us, that Tony Romo placed on leave by CBS after his OWI stop in Wisconsin. The latest on that now is that J.J. Watt will move to an analyst role for CBS. He will be with Jim Nantz and Tracy Wolfson for the time being. That suggests that it's going to go into the season. So we'll see how that plays out.
Implies it,
but it's going to be Romo, or it's going to be Nantz, Wolfson, and J.J. Watt on the number one team for CBS Sports, at least to start the year, and then we'll see how it plays out moving forward with Tony Romo. All right, let's get to Camp Darling Island as we are broadcasting live from St. Joe. Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. All right, Nathan, let's get to Camp Darling Island.
9 players arrive in St. Joe for Camp Island. Only one can take home the final prize. Who will be the Chiefs' Camp Darling?
So on Monday, we drafted 3 players each. JT drafted on Drew's behalf. Cody had the first pick. He drafted someone that clearly is safe for now and is the early leader in the clubhouse, maybe to be the official Camp Darling of 2026. Last year was Tyquan Thornton. You drafted Cyrus Allen, Jeff Caldwell, and Xavier Lloyd. You did not draft Armstrong.
I thought I had taken Armstrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jeff Caldwell.
I was deciding between Lloyd and Armstrong. I must have
Drew/JT drafted Emmett Johnson, Garrett Nussmeier, Ashton Gelati, although under protest on Gelati. It should not really have been.
Under protest.
I drafted R. Mason Thomas, Jaden Candide, and Jalen Royals. So somebody has to be eliminated today. I think there's obvious ones that are not getting eliminated. Cyrus Allen not getting eliminated. Candide had too good of a start.
R. Mason Thomas not getting eliminated.
I think it comes down to.
I think it's 3 names. I wonder if we have the same 3.
It's
one on each team.
Yeah, I think it comes down to Garrett Nussmeier, Xavier Lloyd, or Jalen Royals.
Correct.
Okay.
I think those are the 3 possibilities eliminated from Camp Darling Island.
What's the text line
this week? Yeah, 913-586-7965. Just like on Love Island, you get some say in this right now.
And remember the rule.
So who do you think should be eliminated this week from Camp Darling Island?
And remember the rule. Like reality TV, at some point during camp, somebody can get brought onto the island that wasn't on the island initially.
Or be brought back if they get kicked off of the island.
But you only get one of each. We only get to do that one time.
Yeah.
All right, my vote, we'll see what the text line thinks. I thought this was a bad pick to begin with. I just think it's very difficult for a player at this spot on the depth chart and the position he plays to make any noise anyway. Garrett Nussmeier should never have been drafted. Garrett Nussmeier is who I'm voting to kick off the island. What about you?
Think it should be Nussmeier?
Yeah.
I want to just real quick check the Chiefs' social media channels.
All right.
Because we know that you have a rule that you are protected if for some reason you shine and do something kind of cool. Now we know
they did a video of all the quarterbacks back on like Monday or Sunday. That doesn't count. That was all the quarterbacks.
No. That's all the quarterbacks together. It's got to be an individual one. And because we know he's the 3rd string quarterback, I'm still not sure why Drew was even interested in him. Man, I'm all the way back here. I'm 2 days back. Mahomes, Ken Walker, Nohl Williams, Cyrus Allen. I'm seeing a lot of Jack Cochran. I'm seeing a lot of names on this. I'm not seeing Garrett Nussmeier.
Text line is full of people saying to vote Jalen Royals off the island because Cyrus is playing so well, so it's hurting him more.
Look, he's at risk on Monday or Tuesday.
For sure.
I just like a 3rd string quarterback. What are we doing here?
The next elimination is not going to be till Tuesday or Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
I say Garrett Nussmeier just because, to me, he has no chance to win this anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
He's got no actual. You got an opinion on this, Nathan? He's not. Drew's not here to defend himself. So you can have a say.
And look, I've been sticking up for these guys, taking vacation, talking about their fetishes or whatever. This is a terrible draft by JT. What a second-year pass rusher who started games for the team and a 3rd string. What are we doing, guys?
Mm-hmm.
They need
he
punished
gave him
for
his
this.
list.
They need punished, and Nussmeier needs to go. I will say also, if you've watched these reality shows, a heel is good to have, and that is Jalen Royals. And so I think we keep him around.
That's a good point. That's a good point on the heel department.
I think, guys, Garrett Nussmeier voted off Camp Darling, voted off Camp Island here in 2026.
First elimination. Yeah. That's tough, you know. You come all the way out here to try to win Camp Darling. You want to impress people. You never even get on the field. Never even get mentioned on the show. eliminated from the island.
I think so, man.
For now, anyway. Although I will say, based on the text line, Jalen Royals is in trouble.
Well, it's because people realize
that
Cyrus Allen is passing him already, and that's a bad sign for Jalen Royals. He might, as you said, he might be eliminated on Wednesday. Now,
Xavier Lloyd or him are probably the biggest risk on Monday.
That's
Tuesday
fair.
Or Wednesday,
yeah, Caldwell's going to have to do something soon, too.
Mm-hmm.
He will. R. Mason Thomas is just, he's just too big of a player and big of a name to eliminate this early, I believe. Just like Emmett Johnson is too big of a player to eliminate right now.
Last year's winner, Tyquan Thornton, he knew we were talking about it. He's got like an 80-yard touchdown from Patrick Mahomes. So Tyquan Thornton's, by the way, runaway winner.
Last year.
Like 3 or 4 years ago, there would have been like a difference in opinion, like where somebody may or may not have won it. But last year was no contest, and it's only a weekend. So far this year, there's a runaway favorite. But that's the thing about reality TV. That doesn't mean that's how it always works. Yeah.
Not even in pads yet. Love what we're seeing from Cyrus Allen, but it's way too early to declare him a winner. But he's definitely, if we had betting odds on this, he's minus 150. Everybody else is plus money, that's for sure.
Yeah. But he's not he's not minus 1,000.
Yeah.
Let's not get carried away now here. Camp Darling Island still
all
has
right,
some competition left in
Nussmeier,
it.
you're out of here for now.
I mean, what was he
He's
taking? The third string quarterback. I'd have almost let him take Justin Fields.
Someone says Garrett Nussmeier showed up on the island, couldn't even find a match. That's right. That's right.
Couldn't find a single one. He was one of the guys that walked, like when you reality TV walks out of the limo and they're like, ugh, that guy. And not from the looks, it's just a guy hadn't played.
All right, so coming up in about 10 minutes or so, depending on the practice time, it now looks like it's going to be more in the 11 o'clock hour. And we're expected to have Nohl Williams, Chiefs corner, who could have a massive season, could be a breakout candidate for this team if he wins that number 2 corner job. He's going to join us after practice today. We're also expected to hear from Andy Reid and Drew Tranquill. Plus, don't forget, Nate Taylor always stops by after practice. Nate Taylor from ESPN to give us his thoughts on what he saw today. I'm sure we'll talk more about Cyrus Allen with him. But you found something interesting over at The Athletic. They were polling staffs in the NFL, so other teams' coaching staffs. What did they say about Andy Reid and this Chiefs offense?
Specifically, this was about offensive play calling and where they think these guys rank and the opinions of the players outside of it. And so I'll just put it the way it was. It just said 2026 top 10 offensive play caller ranking. So not just head coaches, offensive play callers, which we know Andy Reid is. And for the first time, I think, in a very long time, it was pretty damning on Andy Reid, who did still come in 6th. But you got to read some of the quotes on it. Quote, and this is the same thing, right? They're talking to execs. They're talking to other offensive coordinators. They're talking to other head coaches. Quote, a couple of years ago, for sure, he was top 5 to me. In the past, year or two, I think it's cooled down completely, to be honest with you. An NFC defensive coordinator said. I just think that it got a little predictable because they had a carousel of personnel there, too. He's definitely on the fringe of it, out of respect, but I don't necessarily have the same I'm staying up all night feel with him as a defensive coordinator. And so, or as a defensive coordinator. I will say, the fact that there are 5 names ahead of him, Liam Cohen has jumped ahead of him, by the way. Matt LaFleur of the Packers is ahead of him. Ben Johnson, which is not going to be surprised by, Sean McVay, and Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan got ranked first by these fellow defensive coaches. So if there's a guy who people just don't like facing, it's Kyle Shanahan. But to be stuck in the rankings of Josh McDaniels and Shane Steichen, these are the guys who are the offensive play callers that are in the list. Some are with him. I thought it was a bit telling. And then I wanted to – here's the problem, though. I wanted to do this like when we have these rankings and we don't disagree and we get angry. It has been stale. Andy's hasn't been quite as on it in the offensive creativity department, in my opinion. Maybe some of it's talent. I'm not saying that, but we can both admit that it's not exactly looking like he's got all the answers right now over the last 2 seasons.
Well, it fits with the off-season conversations we've had, which is how big of a year this is for him to once again prove that he can do something that he's done throughout his entire NFL career, and that's adapt, Cody. The league has shifted. Can he make the next pivot as well, whether it's getting ahead of it or whether it's adjusting a year late? Either way, there has to be an adjustment, a scheme change. I think we're witnessing some of that happen right in front of us here at camp, Cody, with going under center more. We'll see if that translates to the start of the regular season. Those are things that have to happen. I personally, the fact that other coordinators are saying they're not staying up late at night thinking about what kind of scheme they're going up against with Andy, I hope that somehow gets back to the Chiefs' offensive staff. I think that's That's a huge motivating thing. If I heard somebody saying that about me, if I'm someone that has the track record that Andy Reid
still
has.
got it?
But yeah, I mean, the offense has not been as good over the last couple of years. That's just a fact. But putting him 6th is a little interesting to me. I know it's about what have you done for me lately, not what he did 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
I mean, that's essentially the defensive coordinator is like, I'm putting him on here just because of legacy. He didn't even make it seem like he was a guy that he truly feared.
We have the questions whether or not they can adapt, but I still do not believe overall if this offense struggles that it's going to be put on the offensive coordinator. That's what I said back when it was hired. It's going to be put on Andy Reid. I mean, Eric Bieniemy, and obviously he's clearly focused on way more important things right now. But when he got hired, that day he got hired, we made the comment, we had the conversation that he has the best situation of anybody from a coach going back to February, March, whenever he was hired, because if it goes well, Cody, people are going to give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And if it goes poorly, they're going to blame Andy Reid. I really believe that because last year was blame Matt Nagy, right? Matt Nagy was kind of the scapegoat for fans, at least. I'm not saying the organization, although he's not back, so that says something too. But the fans certainly said it was Matt Nagy more than anybody else, or Connor Embry more than anybody else. This year, if it goes poorly, I don't think they're blaming Eric Bieniemy, assuming he comes back to the team. They're going to be blaming Andy Reid, and that'll understandably so. And if this team misses the playoffs, there's going to be some really difficult conversations that need to happen internally, and I know they'll happen on this show, about what that means for the future of the coaching staff and in front office. People that have done amazing things here. That's how big of a year this is.
It's not, so like, I guess this is not, I'm going to get called ageist.
Oh,
here in a
boy,
second.
Here we go.
So, if they get through the end of the season and the offense lacks its creativity again and can't score again, I will 100% be thinking that there's a real risk that the play calling's passed him by. Why is that crazy? How is that insane? A nearly 70-year-old coach
if it's because of the
happened
offense.
to Pete Carroll, that happens.
Yeah, if it's because of
the game does pass you by sometimes.
If it's because of the offense, not because of the defense sucks
that's what
or
I mean.
something. Yeah.
Well, that's what I say. Yeah, if they can't score. I'm not saying if they miss the playoffs or give up 30 points a game. But if they've got no creativity again and they're just stuck in a rut, I'm going to wonder if he's got that one big adjustment left in him in the remaining years he has as a head coach. I don't think it's crazy for a coach who is 68 years old and will be 69 at some point during the season, I think. And so, that's not an insane thing to ask. We said I question about Harbaugh, too, by the way. I have the same questions about Harbaugh in New York if the games stepped aside him a little bit. I questioned it about Pete Carroll. Now, that was clear and obvious, but maybe he just didn't have any talent in Vegas. I don't know. But it does happen. Let's not pretend like coaches don't get old and then it happened just because he's one of the all-time greats. It happened to Bill Belichick. I want to point out that happened to Bill. The single most decorated coach of all time, the game did catch up to him, and he wasn't willing to adjust to the way the league was going. He kept trying to do it his old way, and it didn't happen anymore. It didn't work the same way when he didn't have Tom Brady in his prime. And so, that part of it, and it's I'm not saying it's there yet, by no means. But, if we get through this year and they don't have offense, then I'll question it.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Practice still going on, probably final 5-10 minutes or so as they're doing some special teams work. We're expected to have Nohl Williams join us in the 11 o'clock hour, hear from Andy Reid. We'll also talk about a few comments from Clark Hunt yesterday around the stadium front. He gave us some more insight on what they were going for with the redesigned brand new stadium out at the Legends.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circa Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes, no rake in any of the 3 contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Be a part of history by attending Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri this summer. See the Chiefs and make a St. Joe memory. Whether it's touring one of the many museums, staying in a historic home turned bed and breakfast, experiencing quality dining or brewery options, hitting the River Bluff bike trails, or supporting a vibrant art scene, St. Joseph has something for everyone. Go to stjomo.com to view or download a free visitor guide and plan your trip. Produced in cooperation with Visit Missouri.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack. Jack had a home he needed to sell fast. And Jack thought he had it all figured out. So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers. Jack chose the highest offer. But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out, leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do. Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer. Jack got suckered. Make sure you aren't hung out to dry. Call our dad at Rex Buys KC. Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals. No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises. Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process. Now, don't be like Jack. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, upgrade to a Tempur-Pedic and learn how you can get 3% back plus an instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp up in St. Joe. Practice about wrapped up. They're doing their final stretches, and then we should hear from Andy Reid in the next couple of minutes. Also, at some point in the next 20 minutes, we should have Nohl Williams, Chiefs corner, join us exclusively here on 96.5 The Fan. Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Let's talk a little bit about what Clark Hunt had to say, though, as well yesterday after our show, which was a lot about the stadium, as you would expect, right? He, of course, had his comments about being up here at Mo West, but he said, as kind of Mark Donovan mentioned with the practice facility, saying that the new practice facility has some design inspirations from the Cowboys and Vikings facility, said it will be designed with capabilities to host training camp, said they haven't made a decision on that, although come on. We all know where that's trending. They're going to have training camp in Olathe.
It'll be post-Andy.
Post-Andy Reid, yeah.
I like, which is fair. Andy likes it this way, and Andy is one of the most successful coaches of all time. So I'm not here to argue with his approach to training camp. It's been very successful in his time in Kansas City. He's got 3 rings and 5 Super Bowl appearances doing it this way. But I just think that because there's only such a small handful of coaches who do it, that pretty much anybody who will coach this team after Andy Reid isn't coming to St. Joe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if
but there's no reason for them to even announce it now.
No,
that's why they can say, hey, we'll just see what happens. There's no reason for them to upset anybody and say already that they're not coming back here or whatever it may be.
I missed it. Will the training facility be built before the stadium?
I do not know. I don't know about the timeline, Cody. That's a good question.
My guess is that they would just go to both at the same time, so it probably doesn't matter, but I would just all of a sudden that hit me like technically you could probably build that faster.
Right.
And just start popping up. But you wouldn't want to pop over there and then go to Arrowhead to work. So it probably doesn't work. I was just asking a question.
The other thing that Clark was talking about, of course, was the stadium itself. He said the translucent roof in the new stadium is because they want fans to still see and experience flyovers with Whiteman Air Force Base nearby, which we remember the second rendering. They're the only team in the country that would do
Choosing
it.
Your roof because of that.
The second rendering had that photo of the stealth bomber above the translucent roof. Look, I like the look of the roof. Let's see if they actually can execute it fully with the final renderings and the actual final product. Those are still renderings. Things can still change, but the roof clearly is going to be that translucent roof. And I think it's important to a lot of people. I do. We had this conversation.
I was surprised how important it was.
People like the flyovers, man. If anybody's been to Chiefs games their entire life, that's something that, like, I don't know about you, I get a little adrenaline rush out of it, whether it's the stealth, whether it's a different aircraft or helicopter, whatever.
Best guess is that when they handed out those season ticket member surveys, that one was regularly mentioned.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I can't parse it. And I've told you that's just probably because of like my personal ambivalence to like whatever. I'm not like against it, but it doesn't, I'm not like, yeah, flyover. So maybe it's different than that. But I will say the Mark Donovan part of that in connection with it might have been the more strong thing. Because he was just like, hey, we talked to every single team who has a retractable roof, and without putting words in their mouth, they stink. That was pretty much his take, is that not worth it, was the way he said it.
Well, it's what we had said.
And so, that part of it does make sense, because they don't open it as much as you think. And it isn't worth the finances.
The retractable roofs are a waste of money.
Yeah.
They are. It sounds great in theory, but when I worked and lived in Houston, the Texans opened it once when I was there.
And now it doesn't even open, I think, anymore.
The Astros, because of the humidity during a baseball season, they open it like a week out of the season. And I get it. They're dealing with the humidity there. But the point is, you have these retractable roofs. They either break or teams just don't open it anyway. It's a giant waste of money. I think you're better off doing the translucent roof, as much as I would have preferred just altogether open air we knew that was not an option for them, truly, when it came down to it, for why they were building a new stadium. Because here they were talking yesterday about Super Bowl bidding, Final Four bidding. We all know those things don't happen without it being a roof.
I would say that will make it unique compared to others, because while in Minnesota, which we've seen their stadium, in Dallas and L.A., do have that, and Vegas have that like open air concept where there's a wall of glass you can see outside. Everybody else puts a giant jumbotron there. And in their renderings, they didn't put the gigantic drop-down screen.
No, they want people to be able to see.
They want people to be able to see outside. So that in that way, I do think it will feel very unique when you're inside of that one compared to the other ones. Even if it, it won't feel like just going to Dallas Stadium or going to LA Stadium, in my opinion. That will feel different. I've been inside a number of, in Vegas, for instance. They don't have a clear roof. They've got some sides that are open and you can see, but you can still, as you look up, see the giant screen gold, feel like you're inside in some capacity. I think that's going to maybe help it feel a little bit less trapped in a bubble.
Well, the old school domes, RCA Dome,
yeah.
The Edward Jones Dome, those are basements. It's dark, and you truly feel like you're indoors versus a lot of these modern ones. The Vikings Stadium is the one that they've referenced, that everybody's kind of referenced in terms of it's probably the best lighting of an indoor stadium in football. U.S. Bank Stadium up in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate because they've got the whole – but Vegas is still pretty good at it, and, Dallas is just a little bit different.
All right, let's go out and hear from Andy Reid at the podium following practice today.
Had a strained hamstring, so we're just checking that out. We got him out of there, and they'll start his rehab and MRI and all that stuff. Don't think it's too bad. Other than that, I like the competition that was going on today. Great effort. The guys challenging each other and on both sides of the ball, which becomes important on getting better. And we're able to up the practice to 155 today, an hour 55. They've got another one of those tomorrow, then a day off, and then they come back and they're in pads. And then we kick back just a notch, a couple minutes there, back on it, and I started with the padded practice. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Cyrus made a couple of good plays today. Super pass haven't come on yet, but just his point of catch, I just wonder if that's really stood out to you so far, just over a couple of days here.
Yeah, no, listen, he's done a nice job. The quarterback trusts him. This is Cyrus we're talking about. Quarterback trusts him in there, and he's got to clean some things up, but he's willing to work at it and do that. So he's had a productive 2 days. You got to keep stacking those as you go, and then you got to get the pads on, and we'll see from there.
Felix was the next one up after Jelani. What's the outlook for him this year?
Felix is actually doing a nice job. Looks like his get-off explosion is better, and we'll see once the pads get on and going. But yeah, he's shown us some things here.
Andy, I know you pulled Cyrus off to the side during one of the team periods. Just what are you trying to instill in him when you get those moments of sort of one-on-one?
Yeah, they're little things, just subtle teaching points on routes. Chad does a great job. O'Shea does a great job with him. But if I see something I want to just communicate to him, I try to get that to him, yeah.
Andy, with Phillip Benson with right tackle, what have you seen out of him 2 days in a row now? He's been out there.
Yeah, he and Moore have kind of rotated through that. But listen, he's done a nice job. He's learning. Very strong, powerful, good feet, good athletic ability, and is working at the consistency part scheme-wise. So physically, he's got all the tools there. So he'll just keep working at it, and we'll see where it goes. But he has a lot of talent there. Yeah.
How much growth have you seen from Nohl Williams compared to last year, and has he kind of evolved in his rookie year?
Yeah, up to this point, he's done a nice job. He had a good off-season program, the OTA part of it, and then out here he's been strong where he can bend, maintain that bend, and still move with his feet. David overemphasizes all of that. Use your feet, and then be able to build cushions from there and angles, and he does a nice job of that. He's really worked hard at that.
Coach, how can you explain it with Khalil, just how he's able to go from a tryout after the draft to undrafted to where he's at right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got talent. I'm not sure. I want to see. We're early, so I want to see how he does as we go, and can you pound through those 2.5 hour practices in the heat with pads on and so on, and how do you handle that? And then you've got the preseason game. How do you handle that? So it's a long road, but we'll see. We'll see how he does. But up to this point, my hat goes off to him. He's doing a good job.
Do you expect Legarius and Rashid to start doing a little bit more here?
Yeah, we're just building them up. Just going to keep building them up. We know it's going to take a little bit of time. They haven't much on the conditioning part of it and rehab part of it. So we know they can play. We want to be smart getting them there and how we go about that.
Besides what he does on the field, how much does Legarius bring back in leadership and mentality to the defense?
Yeah, well, everybody's got confidence. It was here with him. Everybody's got confidence in him. And he's a good guy and he's a good leader. He's willing to speak up and talk. He knows what's expected of him. You still see he's got the skill. He's got the feet and the quickness and the drive and all that. So just a matter of not doing something stupid here with him as we move forward.
On Tuesday, August 4th.
Andy Reid speaking to the media after practice today. A couple notable things there. Ashton Gelati did leave practice early with a strained hamstring. Andy said they don't think it's too bad, but that might keep that could keep him out of practice for a couple days. They're going to obviously be pretty cautious with that, so don't like hearing that for Gelati. Then he once again continued to praise Cyrus Allen when he was asked about him. Remember, he's getting all this work too, taking advantage of it, but because Rashee Rice is not doing the team stuff.
Correct. Yeah, and that goes a long way in kind of assisting you take that jump. But we also, I think the stories today were him and obviously right tackle a little bit just because he was talking about an undrafted guy. But he's not like penciling him in yet there either and just saying, yeah, he's the guy. But he'd be there. But, it's hard not. Cyrus Allen's look good. Mahomes throws to him a lot. He hit him over the middle. He made a contested catch. Like, he's been consistently one of the better guys at camp in the very early going. But you can't, a week in, can't necessarily just pencil it in and say that we're good to go, at least on that end. So we have to keep an eye out on it.
Let's go back out to Andy. I know we got interrupted there. Let's go back out to Andy.
And doing what he can do with that, and it's great for him because he's got to work his feet and his techniques and his level. How high, are you rising up as guys are making moves on you, or you're pedaling? What are you doing there? So it's actually works to his benefit in the long run.
Yeah, same on Ben. Sort of just what's the plan for him? Are you guys hoping that he will have the yellow non-contact jersey on or take it off at some point between now and the preseason? Or is it just a slow part of that?
No, I think it's going to come off. It's just we'll see where it all goes here. Yeah. It's time. Just make sure that everything's healed up and good to go. Yeah.
All right, so that was Andy Reid speaking to the media. I think we'll get back to this, what he had to say on the back end there. He was asked about Mansour Delane and the yellow non-contact jersey. He said, it's time. So hopefully that's a good sign of the timeline for Delane to get him full speed out there with everybody. But let's welcome in, thinking of that secondary, let's welcome in second-year corner Nohl Williams with us here on 96.5 The Fan. Our player interviews brought to you by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Nohl, great to have you on the show. We were just saying, I don't think we've had a chance to talk to you before, so thanks for coming on the show. Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
How's it going? Year two compared to year one? Even just being here in St. Joe, does it feel different, better? In what ways is it different?
I'm just, the best teacher or best thing I have coming into this camp is experience. So I know what I was expecting, and it just feels great out here. Good vibes. You gotta love the grind. So, I was just, it just feels familiar. I would say more familiar.
What do you think the getting into the off season, knowing how last year finished? Do you feel like there's a little extra heat with some guys, a little extra fire, knowing that they're trying to prove everybody wrong from how it ended last year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the standard around here. It's to get into the playoffs, win our division, and win Super Bowls. So, that's the standard, and that's the standard you have to upkeep every day. So it's for sure extra motivation. I mean, we know what we have to do. We just got to push the limit. We got to go even harder because things last year, it didn't work out for us, so you got to change things up a little bit, but still be us at the same time.
What was your individual focus this offseason? Andy Reid just talked, and we heard him mentioning that you and Spags, it sounds like footwork maybe was kind of a highlight. Just take us into your offseason from a football end, and we can get to some of the fun stuff here in a second, too.
Yeah, I would say, my footwork at the line of scrimmage, my hands, keeping my hands up, try to disrupt the timing between the QB and the wide receiver to, that just helps everything. You disrupt the timing, the whole play can be broken up, and it helps the pass rush, The line works with the coverage works with the line, so that and just keeping my eyes in the right spot, and then obviously playbook, get more familiar with the playbook for sure.
I think you were part of a group earlier this offseason talking about, just kind of the toughness of the coaching staff for this and Dave. What's your relationship like year one, year two with, I guess, just the staff and them knowing what you're good at this stage?
The expectation is take that year two leap, can't be having rookie mistakes I had last year and play like a vet, this is year two in the system. Some mistakes are just you can't have. So I would say, I feel like they believe in me. I believe in myself. And, I just got to compete for everything out there, compete, to earn the starting job. And even on special teams, just knowing how to be a smart player, spring a block that can make a return. So all that comes into play. I've seen everything before. Now it's just about executing more on a higher level,
We got Nohl Williams joining us here after practice on 96.5 The Fan. You mentioned kind of the vets and leadership and all that. What's it like having L'Jarius Sneed in that room with you? I know he's still going through his own rehab process right now, but just I'm sure you guys have spoken quite a bit. What have you learned from him?
Just hearing him, just being a dog. I would say just having that presence of, he was so good here, won the Super Bowl, and just having that presence in the room pushes me every day to be great because, at the end of the day, that's the guy I'm going to be grinding with, working with, competing with. So it raises my level of play. Same with the other guys.
No, I'll be honest. We tried to scrub social media looking for you. Are you, what kind of things is he into? What music does he listen to? Hobbies does the man have? You're not on social media hardly at all. Are you against it? You like staying off it? Do you lay in the weeds and look but not interact? How do you handle it?
I mean, I just took a little Instagram cleanse, just trying to figure out myself more this year, I would say. Yeah, I'm going to be back on there for sure. I just got to, make a couple plays, eventually, I'm going to try to do camps and all that, engage. But it was just this year I had to focus on me, just personal stuff. I got to get right with myself, try to use my time more wisely, I would say.
What kind of things do you do? What kind of things do you wish people knew about you outside of football? You got big hobbies, you stick games, anything. What kind of stuff do you get into?
I mean, I like to fish. Here and there I'm getting to fishing more. Believe it or not, I'm trying to read a little bit more, journal. Just I just be vibing, man.
What book are you reading?
It's called Man's Eternal Quest. And then, what was it called? There's another book, The Way of a Superior Man. And, those just, they're very insightful. I'm not too consistent right now. Obviously, training camp.
Yeah. But what do you do when you I know some of the guys will play video games after practice in the evening or whatever. What's is it reading? What do you do? It's 8 o'clock or whatever, and you're
in the afternoon, in training camp.
Yeah.
Oh, I be tired. I get on the I get on the phone with my loved ones. I can't. I'm watching Game of Thrones right now. So
first time?
Yeah, first time.
What season?
I think I'm on season 6.
Oh, all right. There we go.
Yeah, man. So, but I haven't had time to because that's one of those things. It's an hour episode, and I'm getting to the dorm around 9. But I'm also, making my phone calls, whatever. It'd be 9:30. I'm like, I don't want to stop in the middle of the episode, and then I end up staying late.
For sure.
Staying up late. So it's I'm just on pause with that.
Now we're going to Vegas here in a couple of weeks. You started your college career at UNLV, right? And then you ended up at Cal.
Yeah.
We've been to Vegas. So it's not like we're newbies, but what's a hidden gem, like a food spot or something? You got something for us out in Vegas?
Ooh.
I know it's been a couple of years.
There's an all-you-can-eat sushi place. I forgot what it's called. It's been a while since I've been in Vegas. But
did you like it though? Did you have a good time?
It was pretty good. I forgot. It's there's cheap. I think it's Maryland. There's a degree. Go down Maryland.
Okay.
And then you make a left. Kinda, it's It's all right, shady spot, whatever. but there's a good little all-you-can-eat sushi place. It's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Then obviously you have I'm trying to remember. Oh, Chiba Hut. Chiba Hut's good. Rice Krispies.
Nice.
Good sub sandwiches.
Okay.
And Chiba Hut's good. And then what else is a good spot? Ooh. There's just one place. They had a bowl named after my teammates called the Naki Bowl.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That was fire. It was it's basically chicken and rice, but the sauce on it is fire.
Okay.
And it's right by In-N-Out. It's right by In-N-Out. It's like In-N-Out, and then there's Asian place, but it's like I forget the names because I
look up the bowl. I'll find it.
Yeah. Naki Bowl.
Now, do you have you ever ripped open sports cards? Rip some packs. You ever done? All right. So before we let you go, we've got a pack each. We're trying to maybe get see if we can get an auto. Let's see what we can get or something here. We opened a pack with Xavier Worthy on Monday, I guess.
I said if we get
Tuesday.
a card worth $20,000, can we split it? He said he wasn't sure.
Yeah.
All right. What did you get? Who you got?
Anything good?
Romeo Dobbs. He's a good receiver. Sweat. Ooh.
Who's that? Who we got?
Puka Nacua.
Puka. All right.
He's a good player.
A rookie for Abdul.
Abdul Carter.
All right.
Yep.
Let's see. I got AJ
only
Brown.
come with 4?
Yeah, each pack. Yeah, we're trying to see AJ Brown, Aaron Rodgers, Mac Hollins, and then Drake London.
I didn't
get anything. I got
Nothing.
Gore, Dylan Gabriel. I got Michael Pittman and Tyler Booker. Who's the toughest guy to guard in the league, not on the Chiefs? Since we saw Michael
on
Pittman.
the Chiefs or
outside the Chiefs?
I don't think I faced him yet. We got some good receivers this year. Obviously, we're playing the Bengals, Seattle, Patriots, the Rams.
Who gave you the most trouble so far, you think?
Last year?
Yeah.
I don't think I got enough snaps in game to be dang,
yeah.
I can't, one rep, okay, you got me, but it's I didn't play a lot of snaps, so I'm not going to say, you gave me trouble,
more than
and not I feel like the Dallas game, those are good receivers.
Yeah, that's a good group.
Yeah.
Noel, if you don't mind, before you leave, we're got a helmet here. If you don't mind signing and join your teammates a little bit, it's going to be for charity coming up in our Cody and Gold garage sale, benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. So we appreciate that. Again, thanks to the Artist Sports for the cards here, as we'll be opening up some packs with players throughout camp. Nohl Williams, hoping for a big second year here in Kansas City. Our player interviews presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Yeah, good stuff there from Nohl Williams. Of course, one of the Chiefs' corners in year 2. Going to have a chance to maybe the number 2 corner for this football team. And he was listing off his opponents, some pretty impressive wide receivers that this team is going to face throughout the year. He was rattling off,
Start thinking about it. It is a long list.
Yeah. Most notably, of course, you got L.A. and then JSN in Seattle at some point. Jalen Waddle in Denver week 1.
Jamar Chase. I mean, it's not a short list of guys they might face that are considered some of the best in the league.
A lot of people on the text line agreeing with him about his recommendation on a place in Vegas.
The sushi place?
No, Chiba Hut. I think he said Chiba Hut.
Chiba Hut.
Someone says it's a good spotting. They got them all over. Some they have in Colorado as well. I've never heard of it. We're gonna have to look at. We know the name spots in Vegas. We've been there enough, but I wanted something a little more offbeat. That's what he gave us.
It's like a toasted sub place,
All right, it looks kind of good actually.
He says the Rice Krispies too are good. Maybe they make them in house. That
was a weak couple packs, by the way. I must say. That wasn't
Dylan Gabriel
today.
And Frank Gore in mine. That was the worst ones we've had so far.
We're still searching for numbers and autographs.
We'll get them.
Again, thanks to the Artist Sports for the Topps Chrome packs. We'll be opening up packs with each and every player that stops by. And we'll get something at some point, man. We'll get something. The Drake London was at least a refractor, but it's not a rookie, so.
Oh, it was a refractor. Okay.
Yeah.
That's better than what we've,
Shoeless Mac Hollins over here on this card. That guy's different.
Oh, yeah. He's got a real weird vibe.
He's different.
Very much so.
So, there you go, man.
But appreciate Nohl Williams joining the show.
Up next.
First time.
Yeah, first time. Up next, we're expected to have Nate Taylor join us after the press conferences wrap up. I believe Drew Tranquil is going to be speaking at the podium. We should hear from him. We'll also discuss a little bit more about what is going on here at camp on day number 3.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character to nominate today.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Score big with the DQ $7 meal deal. Crispy chicken strips, hot fries, a refreshing drink, and a tasty sundae. All for just $7. It's so much delicious food, you'll bring home the win every time. And keep on winning when you upgrade to a small Blizzard treat for just $2 more. Like the limited time Biscoff Cookie Blizzard treat. The $7 meal deal with a $2 small Blizzard upgrade for the win. DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
Fanatic Sportsbook makes every baseball game day this season hit harder. Swing for the fences with long ball jackpots. Just pick the player who hits the longest homer of the day to win a share of $50K in fan cash. Every day brings a new shot to win. Customers also get baseball profit boosts every game day. And your bets earn you fan cash, win or lose. To spend on merch, tickets, exclusive experiences, and more. Go deep this baseball season and download Fanatic Sportsbook today for the best baseball betting experience each and every game day. Fanatic Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MyReset. CT call 888-789-7777. MA call 800-327-5050. NY call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatic Sportsbook app.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Rob Sight Ford, KC's Ford volume leader and top rated on Google. 135th and State Line. Rob Sight Ford, your 2025 Ford volume leader. Top rated on Google with 4.8 stars and 3,000 plus reviews. The best selection, best prices, and Kansas City's best customer service. Visit Rob Sight Ford at 135th and State Line. Buy right, save big, and drive home a winner. Only at Rob Sight Ford.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's up, Chiefs fans? It's Travis Kelce, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour with Cody and Gold. Weekdays at 11:30 on 96.5 The Fan.
Cody and Gold, talking to Nate Taylor a little bit. Our apologies. Chiefs Red Half Hour. Thanks again to Nohl Williams for joining us. Chiefs corner could be the number 2 corner for this football team. We'll talk about him with Nate Taylor in a second. Don't forget our training camp coverage is brought to you by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Nate Taylor from ESPN, joining us after practice, as he does each and every practice here in St. Joe. Let's just start because we just talked to him, then we can get to Cyrus Allen again, and Ashton Gelati and some of the injury stuff there. But when it comes to Nohl Williams, what have you seen from him? And he's competing for the number 2 quarterback job. Yes. Last year he played, 44% of the snaps, and he's got a chance to play quite a bit more.
I think as of right now, he is CB number 2 to, of course, Mansour Delane, the top draft pick this year. Been very impressed with how Nohl Williams has looked both in the short, in terms of that 5-yard grace period where you can absolutely just devour receivers in press man coverage. If you get your hands on them and at least disrupt the rhythm between the receiver and the quarterback. And, of course, there's been a couple times where he's been right in the hip pocket of Xavier Worthy on deep routes and 7-on-7. I know that one of the highlights today involves Nohl Williams, but there's not much you can ask from a coverage standpoint on, hey, it's a back shoulder throw, and I'm right in the hip pocket of Cyrus Allen. Maybe I could have got my head around just a half second earlier, got my hand up to try to dislodge the ball from the receiver, but he's been in the right spot. He made a great interception yesterday that Steve Spagnuolo was quick to reference right after practice. So he's been in the right areas. You would think that because of the way he played towards the end of last season, that this was going to be a natural sort of elevation for him, and that has appeared to be the case. So there's still the L'Jarius Sneed of it all, because we really don't know where he's going to be. If people aren't aware, they let L'Jarius Sneed do the walkthrough, the little individual period. Spags gets all the top, DBs together and says, hey, you work on that. And so I think, from what I can tell, L'Jarius Sneed has been on the outside more than he's been on the nickel spot, right? That's still Christian Roland Wallace and Cater Coe, who we got just a little bit ago in the tent after practice. So until we see where he is on the depth chart in terms of being that outside guy, I would still think that it's a nice maybe insurance policy to have someone like L'Jarius Sneed who's done it before. But as of right now, if they had to play a game, I would feel very confident in what we've seen so far from Nohl.
On the list of potential breakout players for this Chiefs team, from year one, is Nohl Williams at the top? Who else? I mean, Ashton Gelati, I guess his name could be in there too. But, now, what is the latest on Gelati? Hamstring injury?
Yeah, so it's a strained hamstring. Andy Reid didn't seem too concerned.
The problem is, guys, there are 89 players, I believe, on the active roster right now. And so it's hard to keep track of everybody. This was not in a team 11-on-11 period. So this was before they really got into like the meat of real practice. Okay, offense, first team offense versus first team defense. He was not on the field. Because he was not on the field, we saw a lot more of Felix Ndike-Uzama with the first team defense and a little bit of a rotation from, of course, R. Mason Thomas, a second-round pick. So this must have happened in the one-on-one portion between offensive lineman and defensive lineman. And again, that's just a prep to get ready for Monday's practice, which will be full pads. That'll be the first time we'll see, quote-unquote, real football from what, Drew Twinkle told us earlier. But, yeah, it wasn't anything where it's like, okay, they got to take them to the cart and they got to reevaluate them. It's just one of those things where it's like, hey, maybe out of precaution, something doesn't feel right. Let's just shut it down for today, get some treatment, hydrate, and hopefully if we don't see him for tomorrow's practice, hopefully we see him Monday for that first practice in pads.
Is it just a two-man race for the outside edge spot anyway from a job perspective? Is it just either Ashton Gelati will win this job or R. Mason Thomas will win this job and there's not really anybody else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I mean, because I think Felix's best role right now is being a reliable rotational guy, someone that you might want to play on an occasional first and second down situation, be in the mix if you're asked on third down in case something happens or if somebody needs a little bit of a rest. But look, we've said it before about how impressive Peter Woods looks. I'm really fascinated to see how R. Mason Thomas can use that speed around the edge against guys like Josh Simmons or, depending on who the right tackle is, either Jalen Moore or Khalil Benson.
We got to take Khalil Benson seriously, man. So we'll talk about that in a second. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. A little bit of a surprise, but I have a theory on that as well. But for all intents and purposes, I think it is a two-man race, and so we want to see Gelati on Monday so that we can get a clear idea day one of pads. Here's where Gelati is, the second-year guy. Here's where R. Mason Thomas is as the upcoming rookie.
When you looked at just Gelati last year, before we talk about the right tackle stuff, did he stand out to you in any way, or does he just look? To me, he looks like, and it's going to sound like an insult, Mike Dana-ish. Your body. Hey. I'm not here to complain about the.
Hey, Mike Dana was a real dude. I mean,
he was like a 4 second. Like he's the kind of guy that everybody needs on their team.
Exactly.
But I'm not writing home stories about it.
Right.
So. I felt like maybe that was the vibe I got from it.
He's Gelati is in the archetype of, George Karlaftis, but without that level of explosiveness, athleticism, and power within the hands to transition from speed to power, right, in the pass rushing standpoint. Sure. Now, he got better over the second course of the season, or the second half, I should say. He had that hilarious interception against the Chargers where it looked like, hey, maybe they should give him the ball on offense from time to time based on his ability to run with the ball in open space. He's going to get better. I am sure of that. If you could tell me, hey, if he could be Mike Dana from like 2022, 2023, I would, gladly accept that for this season. That means you're going to get like 5 to 6 sacks. You're going to be in the mix. You're going to be creating pressure. You're not going to be a negative for the defensive line, even though you're not necessarily a plus player. Yeah, but hey, if you get
helping.
Yeah, but if you get something from R. Mason Thomas, from Peter Woods, we know what to expect from Chris Jones and Karlaftis, then hey, I'm totally okay with that because he looked like a player who's, you just want to see continual growth over the course of the rookie contract, and then you see where he is in year 3 and year 4.
We got Nate Taylor from ESPN with us here after practice today. All right, let's talk right tackle for a second. We had you on 2 days ago. Totally agreed with you, which is there's not really a competition there. Now this is, since then, 2 days in a row.
Boy, did Andy hear me.
2 days in a row where Khalil Benson
I'll show you.
is getting work there. What we had said in the 10 o'clock hour is that they know what they have in Jalen Moore.
Yes.
Why not get as many possible reps
Yes.
out there for Benson, unless he just blows you away and he forces the issue. Where are you at now? Have you changed, though?
I completely agree with you, Alex. That has to be the theory when we really think about this. It's like, well, we had all of last year with training camp with Jalen Moore, and then we saw him in the preseason. We saw him in the regular season. Now, just to be fair, that was, both spots. Obviously, we saw him at left tackle with the absence of Josh Simmons, and he played well for multiple games, and then he had a little bit of a dip, and teams started to identify what his weaknesses were on tape. Most notably, I think it was it was the Buffalo Bills who really identified it, and then it was the Denver Broncos who sort of could start to see things as Josh Simmons was coming back into the mix. this is what, year 6 for Jalen Moore? Coach, it's July 30th. Or, Coach, it's July 31st. You know what? Let the kid have some fun. You know, it's a great story. When is our first preseason game? Yeah, I'll be ready for that. You know, when do we put the pads on? So, Andy kind of alluded to that, Alex, where he said, you know, it is an amazing story that he wasn't even someone they called on draft day. He's just like, you want to come down? Hey, we need bodies for rookie minicamp. You want to come through? And then they're like, hey, this guy's pretty good, pretty smart, you know, pretty diligent. So he wasn't even your priority UDFA once the draft ends and you say, hey, don't take that team's call, take our call. Don't take their offer, our offer. Look at our depth chart, not their depth chart. You know, talk to your agent. We want you really, really bad. They didn't even do that to him. So for him to be this far ahead is truly remarkable, and we at least can tell he has the traits. That's the best thing I can say about Khalil Benson. He has the size, has the traits. Now how do you perform when the pads come on Monday, and then how do you do in day 2? And how do you do in day 3 when your body is just absolutely exhausted and coach only increases the reps from day 2 to day 3 instead of decreasing them to try to see where you are from a mental, physical, capacity in terms of what you can do. So pads, preseason, I'm still giving Jalen Moore a sizable lead advantage in this race, but we could actually say it's a race now. We could actually say that the Chiefs are putting a true investment in an undrafted guy in a way that they don't normally do this far into camp. They don't really say like, hey, Jalen Moore, just be our backup right tackle, because we want to see every first team rep with this guy. That is surprising to me, and so it is a story, even though I still think it would be a bit of a dark horse for him to be the guy that's in uniform breaking out of the huddle on opening night against the Denver Broncos.
When you look at, I guess, the running back situation, I'm hoping maybe we'll have more to talk about later. Emmett Johnson, DeMercado, any movement in the RB2 game?
I see the vision with Johnson. There's a couple times where they run screens. He
caught a screen today.
Yeah, or they put him in sort of like, hey, let's give you a stretch. Let's give you a little counter. I can see, like, good vision, good rhythm in the 7-on-7s. You hear the crowd go, ooh, because he can, give you a nice little, like, stutter move or a little spin move, little hesitation in terms of the juking. So there's something there. DeMercado is really about the pads, because I thought the reason they signed him in the offseason was to be a competent third down back who will pass block, who will catch the football, and has pretty good speed himself. So he has the experience. There was a moment today, and I don't know, this isn't like you're going to see this on Twitter, right? But Drew Tranquill told us earlier, so he did confirm it for us, that today was like one of the first blitz periods for the defense. So, hey, we coming, right? So it's for the quarterback and the offensive line to sort of identify, does the receiver run the right route based on where the blitz is coming from? And, oh, by the way, what's the running back doing? Are you staying in to protect Mahomes? Theoretically, again, there's no pads. Or are you leaking out of the backfield to be a hot option for the quarterback? There was a moment today where, let's just say Emmett Johnson did neither. He did not protect, and he did not leak out, and Justin Fields would have been blasted. And Andy said,
that's the thing. That's why DeMercado, you got to be able to pass protect if Johnson's going to get on the field. If you're going to get real snaps,
yeah, correct. And so Andy said, hey, whoa, come right here. No, not there, and definitely not here. You need to be right here, because that guy coming off the edge had a straight line to the quarterback, and I didn't see your eyes. So if I don't see your eyes, Justin Fields don't see your eyes, that's a sack. Like that rep was done from the get-go, and then it's like, okay, so we know he's good with the ball in his hands, but I want to see how Johnson adapts to NFL pass protection and understanding what your rules are when a team is blitzing.
Yet again, here we are, Nate, talking about Cyrus Allen, though, because Andy Reid was asked about him again. He made the great one-handed grab. Been watching it over and over on social media.
Although I do think he might have been killed on that one.
With pads in an NFL game, he might be knocked out. And
targeting changes it.
But that was a one-handed grab. We haven't seen catches like that.
Thank you. I don't care. Come on. Shout out to my friend Josh Briscoe. I saw his tweet today that said he has removed himself from hype trains in late July. Not me, baby. Not me. Hey, I drove up here to get these reps. I can't stop it, guys. Choo-choo. I can't stop it. If you're having, and I still think it's a little too early to have your fantasy football drafts, but look at the ball skills. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex on his computer has got it on full screen, and
I think
it's pretty good.
I think the big difference, Nate, is for all this. We did this a couple years ago with Justin Ross. He was maybe wide receiver 7.
It wasn't like this though.
No, but like he was maybe wide receiver 7.
Right.
He could really play.
Yes.
Like, I mean, there's a big difference between when Alex and I made everyone pay $1 if they mentioned Justin Ross on the show because he might be wide receiver 7 versus a guy who clearly is the front runner at the moment to be wide receiver 4
at minimum.
Yeah.
Like, think how far he's already come. He went from being a 5th-round guy to dude I didn't even hear. I was like, who? What? Huh? And again, my network always has, hey, all right, I always say it in the draft room, all right, show me the mixtape. Let's see if it pops off. And I was like,
okay.
All right, it's Big 12. It's just, God, what was the coverage even doing there? Like it's one of those things was like, man, college DBs, boy, that is a mixed bag. So it's hard to evaluate. But I don't know, man. I don't know. There was a moment, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to me clearly. Listen to me closely. There was a moment today after that one-handed leaping catch in the middle of the field between defenders, perfectly thrown ball, and a one-handed catch where you saw the light bulb. You saw it flip for Patrick Mahomes where he said,
"Okay,
are we doing this today?" I know what I got in Xavier Worthy. Hey, I'll give you the prerequisite. Here's my one deep ball to Tyquan Thornton. Hey, here's my one.
Occasional one to Kelsey in the middle.
My one occasional, corner shot hole to Kelsey. Back the hell up, everybody else, because 13's getting targeted over and over.
The catch he made off Nohl Williams was just as good.
Yes.
Because it was tough and it was contested.
And it was back shoulder, and the body control, the ball skills, giving your eyes to the quarterback. He's already advanced at that compared to, like, Jalen Royals.
He's about to get kicked off Camp Darling Island.
Oh, it is.
They kicked off Nussmeier today.
Nussmeier was rough today.
He had no reason to be drafted in Camp Darling Island. That's Drew's fault.
He was rough.
Put him on his list.
I mean, because he's a quarterback, and he's not afraid, but today was
he was like the goofy dude that no one's ever going to let get through on Love Island. They just needed some comic relief for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know you watch Love Island,
Of course I do, yeah. I mean, my favorite character is Corbin for a variety of reasons from this past season. The best thing about Pat is, I can't remember a time where he said, you know what, clear it out for Sky Moore. Or you know what, clear it out for Justin Ross. Or you know what, clear it out for Rashee Rice. Now, those are different circumstances because of the roster and where the position was at the time. Guys, it happened today where Mahomes said, no, get him in the huddle. Bring him back to me. I want more reps with Cypress Allen. And Cypress Allen kept delivering. This is... Again, Andy
I hope we still see it next week. Is all.
That's what
next week, the pads are on Monday.
Guys.
Pads are on Monday.
All I have is what's in front of my eyes.
Sure.
And what's in front of my eyes is that guy looks like he can play. I'm a believer. I've jumped on the train.
They could use it. Boy,
I mean, my goodness. You want someone, and this is what the beauty of training camp is supposed to be, right? We generally know who the starters are if you're a contending team, which the Chiefs are. But given the circumstances right now, Rashee Rice is still in the rehab process because, ladies and gentlemen, it's July 31st. I don't need to see Rashee Rice run routes. I really don't need him to see him run routes until, the second or third preseason game. Okay, cool. We know this is a massive year for him. But somebody got to take those reps, right? Somebody's got to take those reps. And the man who has delivered is Cypress Allen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I can't. If you want to say, look, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but get in your car and get here on Monday because Cypress Allen is happening.
It's a thing at the moment.
Hey, Puka Nacua was a 5th-round pick. Don't ever forget, guys. Don't ever forget.
Let me send that tweet. Nate Taylor.
Nate
Taylor compares Cyrus Allen to Puka Nacua.
There's about one a year. Ball skills, man. Body control. He be running routes the way he's supposed to be running routes. Even Andy Reid said, whoa, come over here. Let me give you some one-on-one coaching. So you know what? You know the way Pat likes it. I know what he said. But like when the DB shifted just a little bit to your outside shoulder, throttle that down. Come back to the receiver. I just want to give you that tip right now because, God, I want to see it on Monday. Like, he's got Andy Reid juiced.
They're giving him a chance.
They really are.
A real chance. And that's the difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen Patrick Mahomes in a middle of a camp practice before pads come on say, clear out for this guy. I want to see this guy run this route. I want to see him run an out route. I want to see him run a comeback route. Hell, let's throw the deep fade to our number one corner that we drafted. Wow, he's open. Like, and again, that's in a blitzing period, so it's like, hey, either if you see the blitz coming, just go, man. And let's see if you can outrun Mansour Delane. Holy smokes, he's outrunning Mansour Delane as we speak.
I feel bad for Mansour a little bit because I know part of his game is being able to be physical with wide receivers.
Yes.
Because otherwise I'd be like, hey, maybe don't get beat on every
They're
deep
only
pass.
letting him play with one hand.
He is correct. He is legitimately getting beat on every single deep ball, and I assume that is only because he is not allowed to physically touch a wide receiver at this moment.
And again, some of this is like, let's work on other things too. So you don't know what the coaching staff is having him prioritize right now.
Yeah.
And I asked Andy Reid today, hey, when's the yellow jersey coming off, man? Come on. Now
he wouldn't tell you.
He said it's time, didn't he say?
Pretty much like, hey, it's the patch, young fella. Let's see you out there on Monday. I don't need Rick Burkholder telling me an hour before practice he can't go today. Coach, he just give him more time. Nah, son. You the number one pick. You was out there. Now he can't be physical in like condensed area, so like there was a red zone. The only time where Cypress Allen didn't make a play was when Mansour Delane made a nice break up on a slant that Cypress Allen was running, but that was in 7-on-7 red zone. Hey, I can be a little bit more physical. I don't have to like stretch my legs. I don't have to like be precautious in a certain sense, but
he's been
Puka
good.
Nacua was a 5th-round pick. I got that right? Somebody,
yes, he was.
Yeah.
He wasn't even their first 5th-round pick. He was the
he was the second
or third 5th-round pick.
Guys, Puka Nacua was a 5th-round pick. We can only dream at this point. It's July 31st, but we can only dream. But guys, I've seen enough.
Look, if Cyrus Allen is the goods, well, then they got a good receiving core.
We
got a whole
different ball game.
They got a real dude.
If that actually happens, it changes 2027 because all of a sudden you look at who you have under contract. Yeah, I mean, this, as we said on Monday's show, Cyrus Allen, or even if it would have been Jalen Royals, but Cyrus Allen winning the number 4 spot is way better, with all due respect to Nico Remigio, than Nico Remigio being the 4th wide receiver.
Because we know
way more potential.
We know, we know who Nico Remigio is, and that's good. That's fine. Like, he is an NFL veteran player. He's already climbed the mountain. But this guy's going so fast, so quickly.
And you know I want to hate a 5'11" wide receiver. I've been asking for tall receivers this whole time.
Nate Taylor from ESPN. Love the excitement. You can hear the
hot
excitement.
and heavy.
Cyrus Allen, Nate Taylor.
I want to take a. Hey, can I? Hey, what's your next availability, Cyrus? When can I see you again?
I'd love for him to come to the table.
He's on our list. I don't know.
Come on.
We have him on our list of players we want to stop by. We'll see if that happens next week. By the way, training camp coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll react a little bit to what Nate Taylor had to say and get back into that poll question The Athletic had with other coaching staffs that had Andy Reid 6th among play callers in the National Football League. We'll do that right here from training camp.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Shawnee Mission Ford is under all new management, and Shawnee Mission is dealing. Because summer's better at the lake or on that road trip or hauling that backyard project around, and summer's simply better in a Ford. So if you have not shopped Shawnee Mission Ford in a while, the rules have changed in your favor. They're never going to be undersold. They're always going to make you feel like family. In fact, if you bring them a written offer on the same vehicle, any written offer on the same vehicle, they're going to either match it or beat it. Period, at Shawnee Mission Ford. And right now, the F-150 is even better. You can get 2.9% APR plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash on the new 2026 F-150. That's right, only 2.9% with $1,000 of bonus cash, making the F-150 the truck you can afford this summer. Shop them right now at ShawneeMissionFord.com. That's ShawneeMissionFord.com, just off I-35 on Shawnee Mission Parkway, because life's better in a Ford. Discover yours today at Shawnee Mission Ford. 2.9% APR with approved credit through Ford Credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Excludes Raptor. Dealer administration fee of $7.99. Price match applies to a valid written offer from a licensed dealer on an identical in-stock vehicle with comparable mileage and the same trade evaluation. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out,
leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Hi, it's Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Be a part of history by attending Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri this summer and see the Chiefs up close. Make the trip to St. Joe something for you and your family to remember. Go to stjomo.com to view or download a free visitor guide and plan your trip. It's where the Pony Express started and Jesse James ended. That's stjomo.com for all the details to make your trip. Chiefs Training Camp in St. Joseph, Missouri will be one you'll never forget. Produced in cooperation with Visit Missouri.
Hey, it's Brew. Between my radio show, filming content, editing videos, and trying to stay connected with family, reliable Wi-Fi isn't really optional anymore. I just need it to work. And that's why I like that with Xfinity, you get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years, guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, Xfinity makes getting connected simple with same-day Wi-Fi so you can get online in minutes. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
The Colonel is the king of chicken. That's why he's always had a beef with beef. But on Wednesdays, he's squashing the beef by frying it. KFC Country Fried Steak is here for only $4.99. Crispy golden outside, tender steak inside. Served with peppery gravy, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, and a biscuit. At last, the Colonel and beef buried the hatchet in gravy. Get the $4.99 Country Fried Steak Wednesdays for a limited time only at KFC.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti. Number one on What's Trending, we are live in St. Joe. Day number 3 of full team practice wrapped up about an hour or so ago. We had Nohl Williams on the show. You'll hear that interview again coming up around 1:30. But the story of camp continues to be Cyrus Allen. We just spoke to Nate Taylor. You could hear his excitement. Cyrus Allen made 2 great catches. One in particular was a one-handed grab in the middle of the field in tight space, tight coverage. He continues to do everything you would like to see from a rookie wide receiver and some. We'll see on Monday when the pads are on. Andy Reid did speak to the media after practice today and did acknowledge that Ashton Gelati dealing with a hamstring injury, although did not seem too concerned by it. So something to check in on tomorrow and ultimately on Monday for the first full padded practice. No other new injury news, though, or anything like that.
No, and as a result of that, Felix Anudike-Uzomah did get a couple of extra reps with the first team today, but they're obviously a little bit thinner at defensive line at the moment. Next up on What's Trending, the Royals begin a series against the Rockies tonight after dropping the heartbreaker of a game last night in which they were up 3-0 in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs and eventually gave up the game-winning grand slam. No news yet so far on this end on whether or not the Royals have made any trades. To this point, they haven't.
Nope.
So either we'll be coming in Monday saying they've made nothing so far, or the Royals will make something over the next couple of weeks.
I mean, you just can't not make a trade. I mean, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And they have till Monday afternoon. I think they will, but there's some guys that are just there's some guys that are just way too obvious to move on from. And then there's the question of how many other guys. But there's guys like Lane Thomas, or I mean, you just whatever the best offer is between now and Monday at 5 o'clock, you take that deal. So him not being traded yet doesn't necessarily mean that they're not trading.
No,
it just is. It's been quiet to this point in time. Elsewhere, What's Trending, the Saints and wide receiver Chris Olave have agreed to a 4-year extension worth up to $132 million, including $90 million guaranteed. Also, former Niners wide receiver is now back with the Niners, Deebo Samuel, on a 1-year deal. He spent some time in Washington this past season.
Next up on What's Trending, FIFA's chief senior advisor, as in the one under Infantino, quits in protest against his World Cup plan to sell shares to private equity. CONCACAF has joined, although Mexico wavered a little bit. CONCACAF has joined in with UEFA in saying that they would boycott the FIFA World Cup if they were to go through with this plan. But now his right-hand man quit and said some pretty damning things on his way out the door about how this would be an awful, awful, awful thing for FIFA, and that he is adamantly against it. He's trying to get his name the hell out of it, is essentially the way I took it.
And lastly, on What's Trending, you guys know earlier in the week the story around Tony Romo and the OWI stop there in Wisconsin, and then since then the video has come out and everything. Well, CBS Sports today announced that Tony Romo is on leave from his role until further notice, so the number one crew for CBS this year, probably for a few Chiefs games as well, is going to be Jim Nantz and J.J. Watt with Tracy Wolfson on the sideline. So J.J. Watt will now be in the booth, and we'll see if Romo, I guess, gets back in the booth at any point this season, or if this is the slow way of ending his time there or not. But CBS making that announcement about an hour or so ago.
I mean, the fact that they already said who is going to fill in for him certainly makes me, at least, and I'm assuming you too, Gold, wonder if that's a more long-term thing?
It depends. What is CBS feeling about Romo versus fans? I mean, and listeners, watchers, I should say, viewers is the word I'm looking for. The fan sentiment towards him has really shifted in the last 2 years.
Yeah, it has.
Does CBS, who signed him to this massive deal,
seeing out?
Do they want to also find a way to get rid of him? And here he just gave him a reason, and he just made it very easy for them. So we'll find out how much they still like him over the next couple months.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Anyway, to your point, it's like if they like the guy, and you and I both know this, if they like the guy, they'll keep him around. If they were looking for, as you mentioned, an exit strategy, well, then he's gone. He'll be gone. I mean, there's almost just no doubt about it.
That is what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp up in St. Joe. Nathan producing the show back in KC. We'll get to some of his camp questions here in about 10 or 15 minutes. Also, don't forget, it is a Fan Club Friday. Even though we're on remote, Fan Club Friday brought to you by our friends over at Jay Rieger and Circus Sports. We'll hear our conversation again with Nohl Williams. I do want to get it back into something that we cut short just because of time in the end of the 10 o'clock hour. So The Athletic had an article which they polled staffers across the NFL on a variety of different things. But one of them was about offensive play calling and creativity. And Andy Reid fell back quite a bit in this from where he has been. And we can get into the specifics in a second. But if you talk to anybody that's followed this team over the last couple of years, I think anybody that's watched them would recognize, whether it's because of Andy or otherwise, the offense has fallen back. So,
yeah, that doesn't make me an Andy Reid hater.
And whose offense is it? It's Andy Reid's offense. So I'm not surprised to see him slip. I guess I'm surprised, though, that some of the comments from defensive staff members and other organizations who anonymously commented on this, saying, that they're no longer are they staying up at night worrying about Andy's offense. I hope that gets back to this coaching staff. I think that's playing with fire if you're some other teams.
Honestly, you need bulletin board material as a coach, too. There it is.
For sure.
I'm not saying it's happened yet, because I think earlier on Twitter maybe or on the text line, like, Cody's an Andy Reid hater. Nope. I think Andy Reid is if not the second best, probably the best coach in NFL history. He's certainly the best Chiefs coach of all time, but there's not much of a debate up for how great of a coach he's been. Man's been to 5 Super Bowls in Kansas City. He's gone to the NFC or AFC title game 44% of the time he's head coach. I'm in no doubt questioning any of the 50 years Andy Reid's coached up to this point, but if we're going to sit here and pretend like the game has never passed any coach by ever in the history of the NFL, well, then we're lying to ourselves. And I'm not saying it's happened with Andy yet, but if we get to year 3 and nobody fears his scheme anymore, and he doesn't adjust to how the NFL cared about running backs, and maybe he couldn't because his running backs stunk. They got Ken Walker in. They're taking it serious, but they got to show some signs of the life, some signs of what they used to be. That's all I'm asking for. And so I'm not surprised to hear some of these coaches or defensive coordinators say, it doesn't quite look the same. It doesn't strike the same fear into my heart as it used to.
What was the ranking again?
He was 6th.
And who was in front of him?
He was 6th. Kyle Shanahan was number 1, believe it or not.
Who was it? The Palo Alto Sheriff's Office voting on this too?
I don't know.
Goodness.
He was number 1.
Okay.
And so he was number 1. Sean McVay was number 2. That's not going to be surprising to anyone. I got to pull the list back up. But I mean, it's not. Again, there's nothing all that shocking about it. It is the people that you would expect.
What I would say
to be on the list. Liam Cohen was ahead of him.
Yeah, okay. Look, I think Andy has shown time and time again throughout his NFL career he can adapt. This is the next challenge. Can he once again adapt in the year 2026? History would tell us yes.
Yeah.
But that's a big question. It's a fair question, and it's what's going to have to happen for them to get back to where they were. As the league has adapted to them, they got behind the 8 ball a little bit, as you said, with the running back utilization in terms of how other teams valued running backs.
Yep.
Now they have a legitimate running back, and I know we haven't talked probably as much about Kenneth Walker as we should, because Cyrus Allen's the story because he's the fun camp story right now.
Walker's look good.
Kenneth Walker, he's so just the way he can. I know there's not pads on and they can't tackle him yet, but the way he can kind of knife his way through the defense a little bit, just agility and quick cuts and the speed, it's just different than what we've seen at a camp before. But Andy Reid, if they don't adapt, and we are sitting here in December and January and this team misses the playoffs, or certainly the offense is the reason why this team is limited, there's going to be some really tough conversations that will have to happen at that point in time. I still think history tells us that he will adapt. And
it does.
There's the other part as well, his offense, but what does this whole Eric Bieniemy thing do to this entire plan as well? He, of course, is going to take as much time as he possibly needs, as he should, but what does that do for this overarching theme of the season offensively?
So right now, the list is Kyle Shanahan 1, Sean McVay 2, Ben Johnson 3, and Liam Cohen, or Matt LaFleur 4, Liam Cohen 5.
I mean, those are all good offensive minds.
Here's what they said about some of the other guys. He said, quote, Sean McVay, I love the fact that he's actively looking to go opposite of the trends in the league.
No doubt.
He's been adaptable personnel-wise, formation-wise, and schematically because their zone run game is where they first had success, but is completely different than what they have now. He is really good at inflow mechanics and how the game is going, not necessarily coming up with all new stuff, but adjusting on the fly to this. For Kyle Shanahan, he's the best in the business. He can adapt better than anybody. It doesn't matter who's lining up with him, whether you got Jawan Jennings, like he's a good player, but he shouldn't be your best wideout. Said an AFC defensive coach. Shanahan finds ways to get guys open, win games. No Kittle, no Jawan Jennings, no Purdy's. He still does an incredible job winning games. And so, and I'm not saying it wasn't all negative on Andy Reid, by the way. The one I had told you earlier, which was just like, look, I'm putting him on here for an honorary spot, but I don't stay up at Wake all night saying it. Someone else also said, I'm anxious to see him evolve this year. Quote, I think it's coming. I think he knows he needs to evolve a little bit, and I'm just curious to see what flavor it is this year. To me, that, if I were a coach and I was like, boy, maybe Andy's lost it a little bit, that should be in the back of your mind. The fear of what happens if it hasn't. And Andy, yeah, he got it now. Or if Cyrus Allen's good, right, who we can talk about later, or Ken Walker and him, and Mahomes is feeling good. I would handle it probably more if I were a coach like that, which is, I'm not going to bank on it passing Andy Reid by at this point. But I pointed out earlier, it passed Bill Belichick by. It has happened before. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does, it does happen occasionally. Andy Reid, though, he adjusted as much as 2 years ago. So, I don't think he's just, unwilling to change his system. I just think the system in the last 2 years has been stable.
The only thing I would say with that, you're right, there's been coaches where eventually it's caught up to them, but help me, honestly, walk through this. Most of those guys have been defensive guys, not offensive minds. Bill Belichick, obviously, a defensive-minded head coach.
Pete Carroll recently.
Yeah,
But Belichick, a defensive guy.
You know what I mean?
He also has Mahomes. When Belichick lost it, he didn't have Brady anymore.
Yeah, he had Mac Jones, who now looks better with Kyle Shanahan. Credit to Kyle Shanahan. That's where Kyle Shanahan does deserve plenty of credit. But, yeah, it's a massive year for all these narratives. There's no doubt. And there's a real chance we're sitting here in December and we're saying, Andy's done it again. And he's adapted, and they've figured out a new way to attack, and they're now utilizing Ken Walker and the screen game's back and all this, and suddenly the Chiefs are once again viewed as the top dog. There's a real possibility of that. There's also the fear, understandably so, I think, from some that, no, the offense isn't going to improve the way it needs to, and this team's going to be held back again, despite having the best quarterback I still believe in football.
Yeah, agreed on that end. The people who still fight that don't make any sense to me, and I don't know why you would at this stage. But that's another thing that works against Andy Reid at the end of the year, is that if they don't come together, they'll be like, you still have Mahomes, right? So unless Mahomes has a really bad year, which he certainly didn't even last year, his stats aren't bad at any of the stages in which people are still claiming to mediocrity during that. The other 10, if you want to know, by the way, ran out of the top 10. Shane Steichen was 7. I don't know if they did not. I don't think, to my knowledge, they didn't vote on this when Daniel Jones was ripping it and then, stopped voting.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels was 8, which is an offensive coordinator. He's certainly done a much better job. Clint Kubiak of the now Raiders was 9 because he was running the show for Seattle. Mike McDaniel was 10. Honorable mentions, they had Mike McDaniel ahead of Sean Payton, Kevin O'Connell, Detroit
KOC's pretty low.
Brian Schottenheimer, and Joe Brady.
So Kevin O'Connell's a surprising one. You know how I feel about the Vikings this year with Kyler Murray, but he won 9 games with J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer last year.
We used to give Tomlin credit for that kind of stuff all the time. I'm not sure why O'Connell didn't get the
I'm surprised.
You know what I'm saying? Why didn't he get the Mike Tomlin treatment, I guess, on that one, knowing where they were. What's the Vikings' record under him? They won 15 games a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Vikings record by year.
That was the Sam Darnold year, where they did not win the division, but they've
gone 13-4, 7-10, 14-3, and 9-8. But again, in the years in which they were 7-10 and 9-8, what were they doing at quarterback? In the year they went 7-10, Kirk Cousins only started 8 games. Nick Mullins started 3, Joshua Dobbs started 4. Jaron Hall started 2, and they still got 7 wins.
This is also why I think the Vikings are going to surprise people. They, to me, upgraded majorly at quarterback from last year. And yes, it's a brutal division, but I told you I'm a little down on the Packers. And we only still have Justin Jefferson. And I actually think they are going to be better on defense again with Brian Flores staying there. People thought he was going to leave as a defensive coordinator, and yet he stood by them, and it's why Jamal Adams ended up signing there with the Vikings. So, look, we can talk more about that kind of stuff later on, but the Kevin O'Connell ranking is kind of surprising to me. By the way, we continue broadcasting up here at Mo West for Chiefs Training Camp. It's presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. All right, let's go back to the studio and check in with Nathan, who's got some camp questions here on Cody and Gold.
Camp questions.
That's right, guys. Got a couple of camp questions for you here. We're going to start off with, we've heard a lot about Khalil Benson, Jalen Moore at this right tackle spot. I've seen nothing more than a video of Josh Simmons walking down the hill. Nothing. Haven't heard a peep about him, anything. Are we just assuming the left side of this offensive line is good to go? What's your confidence level in the left side of the line, guys?
I will say, I have yet to see anyone move Josh Simmons off his spot. Not a single person has pushed him somewhere they were trying to go instead of the other way around. So to this point, I feel pretty good. He's borderline been a wall. That's why I haven't heard anything. The best kind of offensive line talk. Nobody notices you.
Well, that, and I'll say it for the 10th time today, no pads yet. It's really hard to judge offensive line, defensive line, and who's winning what, battles, etc. when they're not in pads. But I to answer your question, my confidence level is very high. I think Josh Simmons is going to improve. The whole stuff last year, he has to be more available. He cannot step away for a month. It's pretty obvious by saying that. Kingsley Suamataia improved drastically last year as a left guard. And then if you want to include your center and Creed Humphrey, of course, not worried there. I feel this offensive line has way too much talent, as we've said, for the run scheme, for the pass protection, not to be a big advantage for this football team. If that doesn't succeed, that's on Andy Heck. That's on Andy Reid and this entire offensive scheme. Eric Bieniemy, assuming he comes back as the offensive coordinator. That's on all of them if it doesn't work. There's way too much talent, certainly way too many resources invested on this offensive line for the left side in particular, let alone the whole unit, but the left side definitely, for it not to be an effective unit.
All right, number 2 here on camp questions for the day. We asked Nohl Williams about it earlier, but also Andy was asked about it. Cater Coe, who spoke to the media, I haven't been through that yet. I'm sure he talked about it as well. Everyone's asking about the leadership of L'Jarius Sneed. I don't know if I'm the only one, guys, but I've heard us talk about Spags and Dave Merritt for reasons in which we're confident in this young secondary. Is like Sneed showing these guys the ropes, instilling a mindset in them, a bigger deal than we've given it credit for so far?
I mean, there's no doubt it's an added benefit when you have a young secondary. Sneed's seen everything. He's been in big moments. The only part that I question is right now when he can't be out on the field fully because he himself is still rehabbing from a knee injury. So how much can he really be out there and raise the bar and level for some of these guys? But in terms of conversations and talking through OTAs and everything like that, yeah, I think Nohl Williams did address that. So is it underestimated? I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just down on Sneed. Like I wasn't a big fan of them bringing him back, quite honestly. I would rather have some of these younger guys. Heck, I'd rather have Christian Fulton get some snaps.
They don't like him.
They don't, though. They don't.
I like it from this perspective. The defense was still top 5, I think, in scoring per game last year. So I don't make it seem like they were a bad unit. But it felt like it was more with finesse. And the whole roster felt like it needed a little toughness. And if there is one thing that L'Jarius Sneed brings to the table, is that he's a hard ass. You know, the same reason they bring back EB. I don't mind one guy in the defensive room who's like we take this serious, I go at this way too hard for every single snap. But the problem is, he actually got to be in the field to show that, to show the physicality, to do that stuff. And because of the slow ramp up, I don't know that it's been like a huge deal just yet that he's been back in the building. And truthfully, kind of like Alex, I genuinely hope he doesn't win any of the jobs. I think it's better for the unit, or it's a better sign of the unit, if Mansour's 1, Nohl is 3, Fulton's 4, Canada's 3, and Fulton's 4, and the L'Jarius Sneed doesn't make the roster. I feel like it would actually say that the unit's better. They just start plugging in L'Jarius Sneed at 3. I'd be like, oh, they don't like the guys behind him, do they? In a weird way, it makes me less confident. That doesn't make sense, maybe, but
all right,
concerns me.
Yeah, sure. Last camp question for you today, guys. Nate Taylor, he joined the show in the last segment. This is a guy that he's known to throw his voice up multiple octaves, have some sounds come out of him. This interview today, guys, this Cyrus Allen hype from Nate Taylor was one of the more special segments he's had on her show. I've got to ask, you know the names At this point in time, where is the Cyrus Allen hype rank amongst camp darlings?
Well,
it's getting up there in a hurry.
He's the heavy favorite right now. As early as it is in camp, we voted Garrett Nussmeier off Camp Darling Island earlier
over
today.
the last year.
He just meant like compared to other Camp Darlings. Where does his current hype rank?
The LRZs.
Oh, this is at the top. This is at the top over the last 3 or 4 years for sure.
I think because Justin Ross, man, I'm trying to remember. It might be more than Justin Ross, or it hasn't been long enough, but in a week, it will be more than Justin Ross. LRZ, I think he's already surpassed that because
LRZ
that was more fun than the other end.
Yeah.
Gosh, now I'm trying to remember. Because Trey Smith would have been at Camp Darling his rookie year because all of a sudden he was like starting and people kept talking about him. No, it probably is. At least in my time in training camp, I can't remember Nate talking about a prospect like that. I can't remember a guy like Nate with his pedigree.
I know, and that's
talking
the thing.
about a prospect.
Look,
like
it's exciting.
Talk me into it.
It's exciting because it's we haven't seen this regime find a wide receiver gem in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. If that's in fact what they found in Cyrus Allen, we all know they found, even though it didn't end well at the last season, but Pacheco was a 7th round guy.
Yeah.
They've been able to find some guys at the running back spot and some other positions. But not at wide receiver to this extent. But I'm by no means am I discounting what he's done. I'm excited, and I hope this is all real. I just think we got to see the pads before we go ahead and say automatically that he's just going to turn into a number 1 or number 2 receiver in a year or so. That's all.
You're willing to wait a little bit longer on that?
Yes.
Fine. We won't have to call him wide receiver 1. That would be the shocking part. Because having a role, to me, that's not crazy. The crazy part, like Puka Nacua, when you mention a player like that, Puka Nacua immediately became, even with Cooper Kupp on the roster, immediately became the team's number 1 wide receiver option.
Yes.
And Cooper Kupp was coming off of all pro seasons. And they just, if he's Puka Nacua, he'll jump Rice in the target share department.
Yeah.
When the season's 4 games in. And,
I'm just saying, let's pump the brakes on the Puka Nacua stuff. That's all. Please.
Let Nate live, Yeah. Let him live.
He could end up having a great rookie season, but when you start talking about Puka, that was like a record-setting rookie season. That's a whole different level.
It is also weird because like the way we talk about it is like I'm glad that he's getting this work and it might end up being beneficial. But what I want to see the mix when Rice is on the field fully. Like when we get 2 weeks, a week and a half from now, maybe right after the first preseason game. That Monday we come back after the first preseason game. And they're running a full padded practice before they eventually wrap up training camp for good. Their final padded practice on like that Monday or Tuesday. And Rice is on the field and everyone's a full go and it's all there. If Cyrus Allen's taking 1 snaps then there'll be no controlling.
Well, my guess is they're going to give him an opportunity to do that anyway now.
Yeah. Yeah, I just
they're going to continue to throw stuff at him.
But it's different when Rice is also there and they have another available person to throw at. That's all.
But they know what. I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's no different than the Benson conversation.
Yeah.
They know what they have in Jalen Moore. So Benson getting first team reps. Okay. They know what they have in Rashee Rice. So why wouldn't you want to continue even next week, Cody, giving Cyrus Allen, who continues to do what you're asking him to do and show out a little bit? Why wouldn't you continue to give him opportunities to build the relationship with Mahomes even more?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you like it and he likes it, then I don't know why you wouldn't just develop it. But at the same time, dude, Rice hasn't played in hasn't played consistently. He's played like 8 games in the last year and a half. He's played like 12 games in the last 2 years. I don't feel like he's we don't need to see any snaps with him guy either, I guess. Like, I wouldn't hate seeing Rice take a couple of snaps and get comfortable again. Just knowing how much time he's missed.
Yeah, I guess.
Not his comfort with Mahomes, but just like the sheer amount of time he's missed. It doesn't feel like the worst thing in the world for him to get some reps.
Our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Up next, let's pivot to the MLB for just a bit. The trade deadline a couple days away, and now some comments from one National reporter about the likelihood of baseball happening next year, plus the random question of the day right here on Cody and Gold.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Score big with the DQ $7 meal deal. Crispy chicken strips, hot fries, a refreshing drink, and a tasty sundae. All for just $7. It's so much delicious food, you'll bring home the win every time. And keep on winning when you upgrade to a small Blizzard treat for just $2 more. Like the limited time Biscoff Cookie Blizzard treat. The $7 meal deal with a $2 small Blizzard upgrade for the win. DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
We could describe it, use words like refreshing, perfectly balanced, and ice cold, or we could tell you it was called Frostbite by Casey's. It's a delicious frozen drink, and mediums are free every Friday with Casey's Rewards. Free Frostbite Fridays. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. See store for details.
It's Telly Tire and Auto Center summer sale. Buy 4 new Continental tires and save up to $350 with instant mail and rebates when you add installation, road hazard protection, and wheel alignment. Hurry, offer ends July 31st. Take it to Telly. Details at tellytire.com.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circa Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes, no rake in any of the 3 contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid.
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends August 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about good mayo, Duke's Mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back here in St. Joe, it's Cody and Gold live at Chiefs Training Camp, presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. We'll get to the random question of the day here in about 8 minutes or so. Also in the 1 o'clock hour, it's a Fan Club Friday. Even though we're on remote here in St. Joe, it's still a Fan Club Friday thanks to Jay Rieger and Circa Sports. We'll hear from Drew Tranquil in the 1 o'clock hour. Also, our one-on-one conversation with Nohl Williams, who is the number 2 corner right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's pivot away from football just for a brief moment. Not only is the MLB trade deadline coming up on Monday, and we'll talk about that and the Royals' just epic ninth-inning collapse yesterday, some more in the 1 o'clock, but Jeff Passan of ESPN is talking about the CBA negotiations. We know the CBA wraps up in the early portion of December. And everybody's expecting, at bare minimum, a work stoppage in the offseason, delaying spring training. The question is, what about the games? He was quoted recently as saying there are owners in baseball that believe there will be zero MLB games next year.
I mean, it's not off the table. I would call it a massive, massive, massive mistake. And college football is going through a very similar thing right now, which is your sport is thriving. It has continued to grow. Don't stomp all over it because of a few bucks. And I know it's more than a few bucks. And I understand that Major League Baseball owners are trying once again to radically and dramatically change the entire structure of the entire sport. And the last time that happened, what happened? A full season strike. And some of those owners remember that. They're not all owners from back then. Obviously, John Sherman was nowhere near owning a team during the last baseball strike. But they remember, and that's why some of them are saying that, Gold. Now, I'll also say that I wouldn't be surprised if some of that was a threat. Was a threat to the players saying, hey, it could go that way, just as a reminder. Don't just be thinking that, we can't go outside of the lines here and make it a problem for you by doing it. But the last time they tried to wholesale change the sport, they got locked out for an entire year. There was a strike, and it was awful for baseball.
Devastating.
They had to legalize cheating, essentially, for a decade in order to get the sport back, and now it's growing again. Like, they're getting more viewership. They're getting more attendance. Things are good. They're getting new stadiums built. The values are up. Like, if you're an owner, the sport is healthy. If you're a player, you got people making $700-800 million. We're not that far from the first billion-dollar baseball player. So I don't see why I can see why the players don't want to change much. The owners want, I think, an even bigger part of the pie than they're getting now. But they get to play the guys of, it's for competitive bounds. I don't think it actually is, but they get to play that card, and that's always the problem.
Yeah, it's a shame because, look, despite what's happening locally with the Royals being disappointing, I'm talking about all of baseball. In general, I think baseball's in a great spot. Truly, I really do. I know we're frustrated about the Dodgers consistently winning, and look, growing up in a small market here in Kansas City, I think we all have been very much non-salary cap from just a fan perspective, because it's clearly the Royals are not going to have the same payroll as the Dodgers and all that. All that being said, I think the sport is in a good spot, and it's a shame if we're going to miss games or all games. There are fans that will never return. There are fans that are still not interested in the sport because of what happened, as you said, in the mid-'90s, 94, 95. And then, yes, the home run chase helped bring some fans back and excitement. But now, in 2026, soon to be 2027, when this is all going on, we have way more entertainment options now than we had in 1994. Sports, not just sports. I'm talking even the streaming apps and Netflix and just the way we all go about our lives. So
the internet. I have the internet.
Yeah, like we just have so many other things to grab our attention, to spend our money on, and it's already tough for people to spend money to go to games and different things, and where they need to prioritize their finances and everything like that. It's got devastating consequences. As far as the details, we know the big hang-up. You said it. It's whether or not there's a cap or not a cap, a floor or not a floor, and ultimately, when is the compromise willing to happen? If owners we know can play this out longer than players. That's just the reality of the situation. Yes, the Players Association has a coffer full of money as well. It's not what the owners have.
No.
So, the
might pay a few bills.
The Shohei Ohtanis, the Juan Sotos, they could sit out for years, no big deal. But a big chunk of the MLB Players Association membership cannot afford, as crazy as it sounds, and yes, even the vet minimum is way more money than you and I ever will see. But they also can't not play baseball for 9 months or 2 seasons or half a season. There's a lot of players that can't afford to do that, and that's where the owners usually win in these negotiations. I think we all recognize, I would bet quite a bit of money we're not going to get to the actual opening day that's scheduled right now. I think we're missing opening day. I sure hope everybody's wrong on the idea that we're going to miss half the season or a full year. But I don't think on March 28th or whatever it's scheduled that you and I are going to be outside Kaufman doing a show.
It's like March 26th or something.
Sure, whatever.
The earliest Royals game ever. Maybe because they knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
No way we're getting 162. There's just no way. Because the two sides want two drastically different versions of baseball. What I can't figure out is the MLB owners' plan pie in the sky? Because the problem is that their plan doesn't include the collective bargaining of TV rights. So it still doesn't solve the problem. Unless you can get everybody on board. Get the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets and everybody who's making $4 trillion a year on their TV rights to share the pie with the NFL, and let's talk. The problem is for the players. They understand that if they give up this thing that has been so huge for them, this unlimited salary cap and these guaranteed salaries, and they're not even asking them to give up guaranteed salaries, by the way. They're letting them keep those because they know then for sure nothing's going to happen. But they know that they need a big concession back, and that's why they were asking for but here's the problem. No other league gets this. They're saying it is not a revenue split if you get to keep all the money from how much more your team is worth as the years go on. But in the NFL, that's not a part of what the players get. The revenue share is not what Clark Hunt's new stadium is worth. Pat won't see a cut of that. So like in the other leagues, that doesn't exist. They're asking for something that doesn't exist, which is really challenging, versus the thing on the table that they should ask for if they care about competitive balance and everyone getting paid is ask for the TV rights to be shared. Ask for everyone to be in the same pot. If we're all just a big happy family and this is just, we're all, together in one big party and one big pot and all the money's to go around and we're going to make everything competitive, then make it dead even. Across the board, every team makes the same amount of money except on marketing. You're better at marketing, congratulations. If it's not for that,
we know the owners,
we're all the same.
We know the owners within their own ownership groups can't agree on that.
They can't.
New York versus Milwaukee versus Kansas City versus L.A. I mean, you run into that. Those teams right now are already making a fortune in 10 times what the Royals are TV-wise. And so some of those owners are saying, why would we agree to give you guys this national television deal or whatever it would look like and have equal revenue across the board. It's a big challenge, and it sucks that we're so far away from it, yet we all know what's coming. Like, this is not we've been talking about this for months and months and months already, and it's still only about to be August 1 tomorrow, and the CBA doesn't expire till, first week of December, and we already all know.
Well, yeah, that'll just get locked out.
We all know that the first real deadline, I actually think, is opening day, because spring training, they're going to blow past that without even having any bit of progress, in my opinion. The only real deadline that could actually force anything is opening day. Maybe that's when there's actually some action that happens.
Yeah, it
sucks.
It does. It sucks that we all know it's going to come, and that there's nothing we can do about it. That's a pretty bad feeling, knowing that we're just kind of limited in a space where there is no way to save it or save them from themselves.
Someone on the text line said they were talking with another family about doing spring training next year. Should we scrap it? Honestly, yes. I think there will not be spring training.
I mean,
unfortunately,
at the very least, I wouldn't buy up stuff that's not refundable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I hate to put a damper on it, but if I were you and you were thinking about, Alex and I have been talking about, we want to go to spring training for the show. We've been so busy because we've been going to these draft trips or whatever.
These things called Super Bowls
or whatever. Getting in the way of just a good old baseball spring training trip. Yeah. But it's like, next year's not the one I'm going to try to make big plans to get out there, because they are likely. Now, look, the good news about these is these deals are always ugly. Even like when you, at your regular company, try to get a contract, and then when they're signed, everybody's locked up and we get 10 years of labor peace.
Right.
Because the deal's the deal. But it's all just kind of dependent on whether or not, if they're willing to take the deeper steps, I guess, after that. Let's get to it, Nathan.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Nathan. Text line 913-586-7965. And, of course, on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, where we live stream the show every single day. That way you can catch us on video. Even when we're out at camp, the video stream is up. That way, if that way is the way you consume it, it's still available for you. So it's not nearly as hot at camp today as it has
pretty
been.
Nice today.
But you and I both know that there are really hot days at camp and outside of this. Over in Japan, they've created a new idea, and I want to know you'd spend your hard-earned money utilizing it. On the streets of Japan, you can walk into what they are calling the human refrigerator. It is an electronic device on the side of it. It is essentially like a big walk-in cooler that you could sit in essentially like an ice box for 5 minutes to cool off, pay your couple of bucks, and then move on with your day. It feels very like the massage chair at the mall energy, because you'd just be walking down the street. So the question I have for you today is whether or not you would utilize an item like that if it were available to you.
Not walking. How often am I walking down the street? If I lived in New York City, maybe. But here, how often would I be walking?
I don't know, maybe down a Power and Line, or if you were out and about going to a game, maybe.
But it's not a long walk. What I'm saying? It's not my everyday routine. I don't think I would need it. No, I don't think I would use it.
It's 100 won? I don't know how much that is in American dollars.
Okay. I don't think you would use it, Cody.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Looks kind of like a sauna closet. You just go in there and sit. You don't think I'd ever use it?
You'd be better off putting that at Arrowhead or whatever and have people use it.
If it were there, if it were a Kaufman.
I'm way more likely to use it.
$3 to stand in the freezer for a couple minutes.
I'm way more likely to use it there than I would just walking downtown in KC and stopping.
If they had it at training camp, you spend $3 to sit
there. If they had it at training camp, I go in there every break.
And even if it cost you $3
yes.
every time? Would you use it, Nathan?
In Japan, yes. Here, no. And so my line in the sand is...
That's $14, by the way, to use that thing.
Downtown Kansas City or just really anywhere. I'm not trusting people over here. It looks like a sauna is what it looks like if you Google this.
What if you get locked in?
A backyard sauna. Yeah.
There's a cleanliness practice that's a little bit different in Japan versus here.
And safety. Good point, Gold. So I did travel to Japan. Guys, I saw a vending machine that had hot coffee in it and cold coffee. So I bought one of each. They came out. One was scalding hot, one was ice cold. The things they implement over there work. It's clean. It's safe. I would absolutely sit in the ice box because I need it. I sweat way too much. Here, no, I pass.
This will only make sense to people who are Northlanders, but Nathan's worried it's going to turn into the old Penguin at Penguin Park in the Northland, which essentially just became an outdoor urinal until they closed that thing off because it smelled like so much pee you couldn't possibly just warm hot. Oh, God, it was terrible.
Someone said
after a while, just not there. You're worried it's going to turn into a bathroom, aren't you?
A bathroom, a sleeping booth. there's... I can't imagine this going over well.
People are saying your conversion might be off, Cody. They're saying it might only be like 70 cents.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
What's the price, Cody?
I thought it was 100.
100 yen is like, that's like under $1.
75 cents, I think, or something like that. I just don't think we would utilize it all that often. And some people said you actually make yourself feel worse, Cody. You go in that cooler, then you come back out, the heat's going to feel even worse.
No, because I know this, like, 'cause I'll have this happen in summer anyway. It could be like 100 degrees and 110 heat temperature. If I just get sick of being in the AC, for at least the first few minutes you're outside, it feels good. When you're just like, I'm tired of being freezing in this building all the time, and you step outside on a really hot day, for the first couple of minutes, it feels nice.
No.
Not for the whole day, but for the first couple of minutes, it still feels good. I think it would actually make both feel better in a lot of ways. What was the best vending machine you saw when you were there, Nathan? How long ago did you go to Japan?
It was 2 years ago, and it just everything you could need. You could get it out of a vending machine. They were fully stocked. It was almost like having a drugstore just on a street corner. Like any personal product, medicine, snack, drink, and of course, obviously the gas stations over there are known for having great food. So do the vending machines. It's just so I trust this in principle based on who and where in the world this is happening. Over here, there is a 0% chance it would go that well.
So, you could get ramen out of a vending machine,
100%.
Real ramen.
Oh yeah, 100% restaurant quality, better than what you can get over here. Couple bucks,
that's
hot.
It's crazy.
Utensils.
The vending machine game over there is at a whole different level. So, the electronic game is just at a whole different level. The technology.
People are asking, Cody, when you worked in the restaurant business, did you just go into the walk-in cooler and chill in there?
Yes. Multiple. You know how good it feels to just stand in a walk-in cooler when you're changing out a keg or whatever? It's great. It's the best. We kept all kinds of alcohol in there. Lots of people stand in walk-in coolers. It's not that weird. In the restaurants, that's where people go to cry a lot of times. That's where you go to get a moment to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Nathan, did you work in restaurants?
Cry in the freezer?
I'll tell you right now, the walk-in was a common place for crying. Nathan will back me up.
Absolutely.
What are you guys doing at that restaurant?
People cry in restaurants a lot. It's an emotionally volatile group.
Is it because customers are rude or other reasons?
Mainly it's customers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mainly it's some jerk acting insane or somebody skipping out on a bill. Occasionally, Nathan, in my experience, it's a warlord-style manager might get to somebody for cracking down a little bit,
Yeah, people want to know if they're shoe vending machines, and then they want to know if there were condoms inside the same vending machine for JT.
Oh, man. I still will never get over that random question. We're never going to get derailed nearly as much on the random question this week as we did twice, I guess, both for the influencer degree and then his, his shoe. I felt really bad yesterday. I don't know if he's listening right now, Nathan. I started to feel really bad because after I had suggested therapy and somebody offered it, it seemed like he was really starting to think for a second, I might actually need to figure out why I hate feet so much.
Somebody offered it on the text line?
No, an actual
They said they
therapist.
offered a licensed therapist offered him 2 free hours of therapy to just talk,
That's amazing. He's
see what's going
reconsidering
on.
his life, and here I am covering for Fesco in my flip-flops the rest of this week just to make him uncomfortable, making the
flip-flops
problem
yesterday, too.
worse.
Yesterday I did wear flip-flops.
I mean,
Some
we're all
friends
just...
we are.
Someone said they worked at a restaurant. Their chef would always tell everyone, go cry in the walk-in when he would get ticked off.
It's become an internet meme about crying in the walk-in, but it's definitely very real. Very real.
Someone says I was a dishwasher in a restaurant. The walk-in cooler's where I took my breaks.
People go in there, and I probably shouldn't say this over the air, people do all sorts of stuff in the walk-in. They drink, they smoke, a lot of stuff they shouldn't be up to going in there as well. A lot of food safety issues found in the walk-in.
And I'm claiming there's a lot of sex happening in the walk-in.
That happens,
Did you ever witness that?
I never witnessed that.
I've witnessed all of the above, yeah. I've done everything in the restaurant.
I've witnessed the
managed
other
restaurants. It's all happened, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never witnessed sex at any of the restaurants I've worked at.
We had a couple of people get fired for doing that at a restaurant I was at. Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
Next to the steaks? Oh, man.
It was in the beer walk-in, so just a whole bunch of kegs.
Oh, so
on top of the
it's in a
kegs.
keg. It's fine.
Exactly, yeah.
That's not like getting in your food.
I would imagine their shoes were on because it's very cold in there.
I was going to say, after a while being in there,
that's one of the few times you would have shoes on. Your feet would really hurt if you didn't otherwise.
Yeah. You want to talk about, you do need shoes. Those walk-in coolers can be slippery, man. You do need the
I imagine you're operating with a little bit of
the walk-in cooler, sometimes the ice can form on the ground. That's really dangerous. You don't want to, oh, man.
Really, then you do need the grip that JT's
You do need the shoes.
You manage, what restaurants did you manage, Nathan?
Oh, I managed a B-Dubs way back in the day. I managed the old Blue Moose concept before it closed down, and then I managed a restaurant in the Crossroads called Percheron. So I've managed it.
All right, nice. Someone says, I don't know, this text is always fun. Gold showing his privilege by never working in the restaurant industry. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I worked in a grocery store when I was 15. Like, what are we talking about? I don't know why.
Look, I can make fun of us for upbringings, but I don't feel like a restaurant work is.
What does working in a restaurant have anything to do with anything?
If anything, it just restaurant works. It attracts a very eclectic group.
I worked at Best Buy in high school as well as like. So I don't know what are we even.
What's the worst customer interaction you've had?
This has been over 15 years. I couldn't tell.
You don't have. There
are people that were jerks that would try to buy cell phones at Best Buy that were jerks.
Asking for discounts?
They just wouldn't. They were just rude and jerky. They weren't eligible for an upgrade, and they just didn't understand the concept, stuff like that.
Yeah, if you've worked with the public, grocery, retail, whatever, you've had the same experience, the same trials and tribulations, man.
I think you should have to do 2 years in customer service.
Yeah.
Every person on the planet, from like 16 to 18, 18 to 20, should all be forced. You would treat everyone a lot different if you had to work in a restaurant or front-end retail. Mm-hmm. You would all treat each other way different if you had to be in the trenches with it for just a little bit of time.
Customer service people, they get anybody that's having a bad day. There's always some jerk out there that's going to take it out on them. That sucks.
There's nothing worse, and this is the stuff that was always really funny to me. I'd be like, I said Grey Goose martini, and you made it with Grey Goose. And I'd be like, oh, I'm terribly sorry. Like, they sent it back. They said you didn't make it. And I would shake the same drink back into the shaker, and I just put it right back into the glass, Nathan. And they bring it back like, thank you. Thank you for finally giving me the right thing. And I'm like, listen, lady, I'm just telling you right now, I gave you what you asked for, and I don't care. I don't care. Mix a whole fresh drink because you can't taste the Grey Goose the way you normally do? This isn't on me. I just shake it again, make it cold, put it back in the glass, and be like, there. Oh, you got your Grey Goose that time. Problem solved. Huh. If I made it, because everyone would be like, damn, did I make that? I don't remember.
You're like, no, I know I made it.
I'm like, I made it. Look, the Grey Goose is still sitting on the bar top. Mm-hmm. It's like, I made it with Grey Goose. I had a guy once tell me I didn't make something with something, and he watched me pour it. He was sitting at the bar. He's like, you didn't make that with Maker's Mark. I'm like, sir, it's here. You were physically here. Wouldn't you have said something? Like, people are nuts. That's the random question of the day. Not nearly as distracted as the others. And Alex learned about restaurant culture, which is I just think it's a bit of a group of it. Not all. I
just didn't realize that before you guys are dropping the fries in the fryer, you're grabbing the frozen potatoes and someone's having sex next to the potatoes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Look, this is stereotyping a little bit, and I think Nathan will back me up. It can be a bit of a degenerative group, as a unit.
Oh, yeah.
It attracts people who don't mind getting drunk at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday, Now,
Alex, I'll say I probably worked 7 or 8 years in the industry. That happened once over that time in a restaurant I worked at, whereas somebody crying or sneaking a drink in there, that happens almost every day. It's way, way less that's happening, but I have seen it happen. I can attest to it.
At both places I worked, it wasn't even openly frowned upon if I wanted to drink at the end of the shift while I was still working. They didn't even care. I'd just be drinking a whiskey with the person sitting at the bar. They didn't even say anything. It was like, it's fine. Like, yeah, just having one before we finish up the night. Customers liked it. Makes it, we're all just people here having a drink. I imagine at big corporate places like B-Dubs, they probably frown upon that a little stronger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably don't like that as much. They don't like a shift beer. I was told 2 shift drinks for every chef at one of the restaurants I worked at. They got 2. They got just as long as it was it had to be bottom shelf or beer. They couldn't get 2 if they wanted something nicer.
Huh.
That was the rule.
Okay.
And chefs like to drink, so they all got there too.
That's the random question of the day as we continue broadcasting live from St. Joe. It's presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Up next, let's talk about the Royals' 9th inning yesterday. It wasn't unbelievable, but it was as ugly as any this entire season. We'll talk about that, the trade deadline a little bit, and hear from Chiefs linebacker Drew Tranquill right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
Shawnee Mission Ford is under all new management, and Shawnee Mission is dealing because we all know summer's better at the lake, or maybe you're on that road trip, or you're needing something to haul that big backyard project you've been working on, and summer's just simply better in a Ford vehicle. So if you've not shopped Shawnee Mission Ford in a while, the rules have changed, but in your favor. They're never going to be undersold. They're going to always make you feel like family. In fact, if you bring them a written offer, any written offer on the same vehicle, they're going to either match it, or better yet, they'll beat it, period, at Shawnee Mission Ford. And right now, the F-150 is even better. Get 2.9% APR plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash on the new 2026 F-150. That's right, only 2.9% with $1,000 of bonus cash, making the F-150 the truck you can afford this summer. You can shop them right now at ShawneeMissionFord.com. That's ShawneeMissionFord.com, or visit them just off I-35 on Shawnee Mission Parkway. Life's better in a Ford. Discover yours today at Shawnee Mission Ford. 2.9% APR with approved credit through Ford Credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Excludes Raptor. Dealer administration fee of $7.99. Price match applies to a valid written offer from a licensed dealer or on an identical in-stock vehicle with comparable mileage and the same trade evaluation. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Fanatic Sportsbook makes every baseball game day this season hit harder. Swing for the fences with long ball jackpots. Just pick the player who hits the longest homer of the day to win a share of $50K in fan cash. Every day brings a new shot to win. Customers also get baseball profit boosts every game day. And your bets earn you fan cash, win or lose. To spend on merch, tickets, exclusive experiences, and more. Go deep this baseball season and download Fanatic Sportsbook today for the best baseball betting experience each and every game day. Fanatic Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MyReset. CT call 888-789-7777. MA call 800-327-5050. NY call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatic Sportsbook app.
Kansas City football fans, Dane and Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
It is out of here.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the seventh inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
a lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station. Welcome into the Fan Club.
Step 1, we buy into this club. Step 2, we roll over to the club, either in your Mercedes-Benz or my pre-owned Acura Legend.
It's not as much as a club as it is a couple middle-aged dudes in sweatshirts talking about sports.
Bounce, 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 bounce. Now all the ladies saying bounce, 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 bounce.
But you get the gist. Here's Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
It is a Fan Club Friday, even though we are up in St. Joe. Of course, Fan Club Friday brought to you by Jay Rieger and Circus Sports. Circus Sports has their $30 million in guaranteed prizes coming up in contest weekend. You can go out to Las Vegas for Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action. Circa Survivor, pick one winner each week. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. Visit circusports.com for details. Obviously, we're on remote. No drinking today. Got to drive all the way back to I
don't want to get
Kansas.
sleepy, like have a drink and then in the car for an hour.
I told you, after Lake for a weekend, after doing Punta Cana a couple weeks ago, I told you until our Vegas trip, I'm on a no alcohol stretch of 5 weeks. I got 3 more weeks to go. And just a reset. Just a reset.
Just felt like, yeah, I get it.
And I also read more and more, like, with you guys, we've talked about the working out stuff and everything like that, and, like, the worst thing I can be doing is drinking. So that's another reason why I'm stopped. So
yeah.
But I'm going to drink again. Don't worry. But it's a good reset, and
I'll be back drinking next Friday for Fan Club. Honestly, I'll probably have something tonight. Who's to say? I don't have any real plans tonight. This is my last, I think, non-busy weekend, like, till September. So I got to take, like, full advantage of, like, having, as in, do nothing, because I have no plans.
Yeah, I don't really. I might want to go see Spider-Man this weekend. I'm not sure. That might be something that I try to do this weekend, but nothing crazy planned.
Nathan, you got big plans this weekend? It's a Fan Club Friday. We can just talk about our plans for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, Mom's birthday on Sunday, so
Nice.
going out there to the Blue Springs area, having a birthday celebration. Then we're seeing Mumford & Sons that night. So until then, not really, but it'd be a fun Sunday.
Yeah,
your mom's turning the ripe old age of 30. Really lovely lady.
That is really nice. Also, there's some good concerts going on. You mentioned Mumford & Sons, but there's Darius Rucker tonight at Starlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
saw we got an email about tickets on that. That was one consideration, but I'm like, I've been outside all day. I don't know if I want to go to Starlight tonight. But Darius Rucker's at Starlight. That should be a good show tonight.
It'll be our first time at Morton this Sunday. I've been told to arrive early and plan to be there late.
Yes. So, awesome venue. I've been there one time. Great venue. It's the acoustics are amazing. It's obviously all brand new. So like the bathrooms are nice. The concession area is nice. But yes, parking is a pain, and you know what? everybody tries to arrive at the same time, and it's just a mess. So either arrive really early or show up a little late is what I would say. Otherwise, you're just sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic. That exit, depending on where in town you're coming from, that Horizons Parkway exit or whatever by Argosy, that's where you know if you're coming from the south, 635 or whatever it is, it's just backed up to get off that exit. It's a mess. So yeah, get there early, man. And people are saying Spider-Man's good. Yeah, that's what I might do. Not tonight, but I might go Sunday. That might be a Sunday thing. I don't know. Go see a new Spider-Man, see if anybody else wants to go with me.
I think my kids and I are going to watch the first one of the Tom Holland ones tonight because they want to see the new one. But I'm like, let's get caught up a little bit. Let's see what's going on in the Spider-Man universe. So Homecoming, is that the first one? Does anybody remember? Is that the first standalone Tom Holland Spider-Man movie? Is my kid too young to watch a Spider-Man movie?
Ooh.
He'll be 8 in 2 weeks.
What's it rated? Is it PG-13?
Oh, PG-13. He's definitely not too young. I don't care.
No, I'm just asking. What the rate is. I don't know.
Spider-Man, the new one. Spider-Man, brand new day.
Or is it R?
Rating. R?
I don't know.
Making superhero movies.
I haven't seen it yet, Cody. I'm throwing out
PG-13.
All right, there you go.
For sequences of action, violence, and some language. In fairness, my kid. So like both of my kids, I cuss a lot. Alex knows this. Pretty regular for me. I cuss a lot at home, too. I don't really like filtered around my children. Maybe I should, but I don't. My kids don't cuss at all. And if anything, they give me a hard time when I do. They say, why would you say things like that? Why would you say those words? And I don't remember ever preaching that to them, and yet I'm constantly under guard. Like, what the hell am I under watch for all the time? Get my own kids calling me.
The part they always like today. Cody won't mind me saying this.
No, I don't care.
So like today, we're walking down. Like there's from where we park. There's a hill we have to walk down towards our broadcast site.
Yeah.
And like anything, Cody and I are like just small talking on the drive down. Talking about whatever. It could be anything. Sports.
Yeah,
life,
just BSing.
Whatever. BSing. And like Cody was saying, getting on a tangent about something. And just
I raised my voice a little, and there was a couple of F-bombs.
And we're walking past this nonstop line of Chiefs fans. We're right next to as we're walking, and it constantly Cody's F this, F that. I'm like loud.
A couple.
I'm like, dude. I'm like, dude.
Nathan, do you cuss at all? I don't even. We don't know each. Every time you fill in for us, we're out of the studio, so we don't even get to know you.
Yeah, that's really
convenient,
You're just like
an enigma
guys.
to us.
Yes, that's really convenient how I'm allowed to work your remote shows, but JT gets the on-air, all the viral run and stuff. Yeah,
in
that's
fairness, though, I don't know that you want the kind of viral run JT got this week.
You guys, I was grinning ear to ear and laughing out loud for a solid hour during that. I haven't heard anything that good in so long.
It was fun. It's been a fun week. It's been a fun week. Appreciate JT filling in. Appreciate Nathan producing the show today as well. A reminder, coming up in about 20 minutes or so, Nohl Williams joined us right after practice today. He was our exclusive interview. Talked to him about the cornerback job improvements and what he's been working on. Found out a little bit more about Las Vegas. He gave us some suggestions on some restaurants maybe to get to. And we ripped open a couple packs. So we'll do that coming up in a bit. We're going to hear from Drew Tranquil in about 5 minutes or so. But I do want to briefly talk about the Royals.
That game.
Look, they have had plenty of ninth-inning collapses all year, right? That's been the story. They can't get the final out. Yesterday, though, was, other than maybe opening weekend against Atlanta, Carlos Estevez giving up the grand slam, this was as bad as it's been. And I know we've all conceded that the season's been over for a very long time, and maybe the one early in the year was more gut-wrenching because we had hope then still. But yesterday just ticked me off, and I'm sure even if you haven't been locked in as much, that Noah Cameron has his best outing as a Royal, 8 innings, 1 hit given up, 97 pitches. They're up 3-0. They need 3 outs with a 3-0 lead. They go to Urseg. He actually looks good the first 2 batters.
Gets him.
2 outs. All right, man. Urseg, best he's looked in a month. Then he's up 0-2 in multiple counts. Ends up, I think, walking a guy, gives up a single to the other guy. Then they go to Matt Strom. Bases are juiced. Second pitch, I think.
And Strom's biggest problem this year.
Third pitch.
Strom has given up 70,000 home runs this year in relief.
And he gives up a no-doubter walk-off grand slam. It's the first walk-off grand slam in MLB history when a team was down 3, 2 outs,
2 strikes,
0-2 count. This is the worst ninth-inning team in baseball. And there's the 5th worst bullpen in Royals history right now. And it's still not even August yet till tomorrow. they might make a run for third or second worst. I can't believe there's 4 bullpens worse than this one in Royals history.
I got to say, I think this is why they don't want to trade Lang and Lynch, is they are now petrified that they can't give up the only arms that are actually doing anything, because every other bullpen arm is either going to need to go to the rotation like Luwinder Avila, or be in the rotation like he has Luwinder Avila, or stinks. But this is also why you should trade them. Had you traded Urseg last year, had you traded Carlos Estevez, not last year, obviously, because you were trying to make the playoffs, I get it, but in the offseason, had you traded Carlos Estevez to make different moves in the bullpen, you'd be better served. You'd have all been better served. Bullpen arms should always be the first thing you are willing to trade, because this bullpen was actually supposed to be, I thought, okay, like league average. I didn't think they were going to be great, but I thought they'd be league average. Carlos Estevez, the saves leader from the year before. Lynch, who I thought was coming off a nice season, has an even better year this year. Urseg still feels like, even though he wasn't as good as he was 2 years ago, he wasn't bad last year, so I thought, okay. And they brought in Strahm. Strahm, consistently, one of the most consistent relievers in baseball. By the way, Jonathan Bolin, that trade blew up in their face. Jonathan Bolin's made 40 appearances this year. He's got a sub-3.5 ERA. He's been good, Jonathan Bolin. Now, they needed a lefty, but they chose the wrong one. They chose the wrong one. They could have chosen any other lefty, and they had Daniel Lynch, so they didn't really need a lefty that bad. They could have just gone that route. And so that start, it's weird because I want to get, like, uber mad at it, but I know the bullpen's bad. This isn't, like, a shocking news to me.
No,
the better news yesterday was certainly that Noah Cameron was good.
Yeah,
but that one was such a kick in the stomach, it's like I can't just ignore it.
Right, yeah, long-term, Noah Cameron getting right and feeling confident heading into 2027 is a big plus, no question.
Matters way more.
But yesterday, I mean, that was just pathetic yesterday. I mean, just flat-out pathetic, embarrassing, a joke, whatever words you want to use. That's what yesterday was.
They've had a lot of those this year.
Yeah.
And I think inevitably, like, that's the issue across the board, is that they've had a few of those. Alex, I know you're a big card guy. Some of these memes that come out with these guys, I always feel so bad. They do these, like...
Oh, my goodness.
Goodness.
Cody's showing me a photo of, so anybody that collects cards, Flawless is like a high-end card, and usually they'll have a photo, autographs, and a patch.
Like
a
relic,
jersey.
you know.
Yeah, instead, Cody just showed me one... A Tiger Woods and Tony Romo autographed card. In the instead of the jersey patch, it's 2 beer top cans.
And photos of their mugshot.
That's bad.
The jokes that come out of that stuff. If you guys missed it earlier, Tony Romo's been placed on leave. He or is on leave for indefinite amount of time, and then J.J. Watt will fill in for him until Tony Romo is back. The real question is, will he be back, I guess, at this
I don't
stage?
know. Look,
putting him on leave and telling us J.J. Watt's filling in. Not insignificant.
The video that came out and the OWI thing, as we talked about earlier in the week, it's in Wisconsin, it's not as severe of a penalty.
It's a misdemeanor.
It's just a misdemeanor. But I think as the videos have come out, some people thought he looked better in the video, but now people are finding out details. Like, he claimed he was going to see his grandparents. Someone looked it up and claims his grandparents are all deceased. So, like, just a lot of – and then there was an open container in the vehicle reportedly. Look, I think going on leave is not a bad thing. Hopefully it doesn't cost him his job. But, there are consequences to, I think we all recognize that.
Well, and even if it's like even if you're not going to get in real civil, like you're not going to get in like that kind of trouble, criminal trouble, the public perception is not different nationally just because they're lighter on it in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Everybody still takes DUIs and DWIs and OWIs really serious because you can hurt somebody. Not just yourself, you can hurt a lot of other people in the course of it, and especially people, when you have means, people are even less forgiving because, like, even if Alex is like, boy, that Uber's real expensive Saturday night, that ain't Romo's problem, He can afford whatever ride he could possibly need. He could pay someone to go pick up his car if that's, and I'm sure he's in a rental or whatever.
He was at a golf tournament, I think he said.
Yeah, he was.
And clearly was drinking. But J.J. Watt with Romo and Wolfson, if that goes well the first month and he's still on leave, Cody, they might use this as they're out of that massive contract, depending on how they felt about him before. I mean, I know there was, some viewers were checked out and already done with him, but that doesn't mean CBS was. So we'll see. Hopefully, he gets whatever he needs sorted out as well moving forward. All right, let's go back to the media tent from earlier because we heard from Andy Reid. And Drew Tranquill also spoke. We haven't heard from the Chiefs' veteran linebacker, Drew Tranquill. He talked about this defense. He also, I think, was asked about Travis Kelce. Here's what he had to say.
Thoughts on this defense that's coming together in the first couple of days of camp?
Yeah, guys are competing. We got a lot of young guys. Obviously, lost some guys in free agency. But the young guys are competing. The guys who have been here, just continue to set the standard. And it's been a good first 3 days of work.
With the linebackers specifically, a lot of youth and inexperience behind you and Nick. What have you seen from those guys to suggest they're ready to step up?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of competition in the room. Obviously, that Sam linebacker spot with Leo leaving, guys are competing for reps there. And guys just continue to compete across the board. Spags does a good job of a lot of personnel groups. We all know that. And so, guys are out here in training camp to prove it and earn some reps. He's special, man. He's quick in and out of the breaks. He's going to help us in the passing game. He's dynamic in the screen game. And he's got great acceleration when the ball's in his hands. So to have a guy out there to train you and help you sharpen your blade as you get ready for the season is great.
There's a moment where you dump Walker. Somehow ladder in the podium. What brings your fire, you think, for training camp? It seems like you're one of the more fired up players that's happened.
Oh, yeah, small moment. I mean, we're just competing at the end of the down, trying to get the ball out punched, and then Kenneth's fired up, throws the ball, and it's all love. We're smiling at each other after the play, but, we're just making each other better rep by rep and, trying to make an emphasis this year to get the ball out. We need to get it out more on defense.
Do you feel like that intensity is contagious? Is that something that's behind some of that fire?
I mean, for sure. There's a play yesterday in practice where they hit us on another screen, and George comes from the backside and literally, hunts Kenneth down 25 yards down the field. You see that on tape, in the afternoon. You're like, dang, man, I got to give more, when it's hot and it's humid. It's easy when you're in the air conditioning on the clicker to say I got to go harder, but when you're, 16, 25, 30 reps into a practice, where's that fire at? And seeing other guys do it certainly helps you bring it.
Facing that screen that has been emphasized more of the offense, just how frustrating has that been for the defense, but how nice is it to see that they're getting it together and have to stop it too?
Well, it's difficult, and when you're a pressure team, teams do that to you. So offenses, they know you like to bring overloads, they know you like to blitz in critical situations. The way you beat that is with screens, and so I think we had our first blitz period today, and so they had a couple screens in there for us. So they're smart on that side of the ball too.
It seems like this question could fit any of the last few years you've been here, but do you take it upon yourself to sort of set just kind of an energy tone here? I mean, I see you and Patrick sometimes talking to each other too.
I think it just makes camp more fun. Like there's no hiding that these are the hardest days of the season, and they should be. You're building the foundation, and this is where all your mental confidence and everything that you can fall back on when things get hard in the season is built. And so when you can lighten the mood and laugh a little bit and, jaw back and forth a little bit, it makes it easier, makes it more fun, and brings the energy to, otherwise long, hard days.
How's Travis looking?
What's that?
How's Travis looking?
Looks young, man. Looks spruce. Looks like a guy who just got married. He's looking good. He's him and Patrick seem to have that connection they've always had, connecting on some critical third downs throughout practice over the past few days. And he's in there blocking. I mean, he's in line and blocking, so they're still asking him to do everything.
Drew, whenever the pads do come on, how different is it out there?
I mean, that's when real football starts. We can put the jerseys on and run around all here, but it's not a 7-on-7 league. And that's when the real football starts. So it's nice to get out here, get your legs underneath you, get moving, do some football-related movements. But next week's going to get real. It's going to get real. Thanks, guys.
That was Drew Tranquil. Yeah, talking about next week, he's referencing pads. Monday, they finally will be in pads, and you'll start hearing some hits, and it gets real. And all the excitement around some of these players, including Cyrus Allen, if he continues to do that while the pads are on, look out, it gets even crazier than where it's already at. Drew Tranquil, one of the veteran leaders for this team, you heard him talk about Travis Kelce. There was one, and he mentioned how he said spruce. I don't know if he meant spry, or I'm not familiar with spruce, but I think he meant spry. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
And point being, there was a long pass or a short pass that then Travis took off right after. Looked quicker than you would expect for someone of his age. Cody, he looked all right.
Yeah, I would say. Look, Travis. I told you last year he came in as good a shape as he'd been in years. Last year, he had slimmed down. I think fairly obvious because of that. He looked like he was faster than he had been, and not a surprise. He had I thought, better year last year than he did the year before. Where people thought, well, maybe that's just kind of the end. And he didn't have more. How about this? He had less catches, but more yards and more yards per catch. He was a far more effective player for the Chiefs offense last year on less targets, which means to me he can still be in that 70, 80 catch range like he was last season versus 97 the year before that, where he had 30 less yards. He averaged 3 less yards per catch 2 years ago than last year. And so, I think he looked good last year. I think he'll look good again this year. I think his baseline is still the same. 805 touchdowns is lock. That's a lock to me. He'll just get that. And upward mobility depending on how the rest of the offense looks. People make it easier on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I need him getting 100 targets, though, or over 100 targets.
Did he have 100 targets last year?
This season. I don't know if I need that. He got force-fed late in the year last year when Oladokin was in.
108.
Yeah,
but he had 133 the year before, so it already went down. 121 the year before
I wouldn't
that.
mind it being 100 or less. I think just if we think this offense is going to flow better through Rice, Worthy, maybe Cyrus Allen, whoever, Travis Kelce getting 100 or less targets I actually think could be a good thing for him, too, in terms of his production all year round. But I don't think he's going to have the massive cliff. I know we're going to do the over-unders over at FanDuel and stuff closer to the season. I believe they're at 650. Seems low.
For Travis?
Yeah, seems
low. I've made money on Travis every single year. Even the year that he was bad, I made money on him.
I think the 855 touchdown number, maybe that's too high. I don't know. But
I said 8. Yeah, 8.
Oh, 8, sorry. 650 seems a little low for me. I think he's probably at bare minimum a 750-yard guy this year. If he's playing all year.
If he's healthy, he's not finishing 650.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with you. I think that's a low number. It would be a bet I would look at making. We'll go through all the Chiefs over-unders as we get closer to the season, as they're already out there. And no, they do not list any Cyrus Allen props.
There have been.
I was wondering already.
There have been 2 numbers. I have not kidding. I have bet it 3 years in a row, and I've made money on it 3 years in a row, which is Travis Kelce's over under. They refuse. They consistently put it. The highest it ever was 801.5, and I barely got there. It took like the final week of the season 2 years ago, or whatever it was, 3 seasons ago. Every other year I hit it. Not even like a sweat. Last year's over under total was like 715. And he finished with 851. Like, and I understand you're like, well, that's only really like 2 games. 2 games is a lot when we're talking about a total. Like, you're talking about a yardage total. If you clear by 2 full games, you've cleared the bet.
But 650 yards. I mean, 650 yards for Travis. That's we get.
He doesn't do that.
We get in trouble when we try to do math live on the air. It gets us both in trouble. That's like
here I can do the math.
30. What is that? 35 yards.
You want to call it 16 games? Just to
be
Okay.
17.
You want to call it 17?
I think it's like 30-something, 35, 40 yards a game.
38.
Okay, yeah. So
38 yards a game.
That's nothing.
Here's what he's averaged in his career. 53, 54, 70. All right, let's get out of the good years where he averaged 94 and 83. Here's the last 4 years in which people say he's a declining player in the yards per game. 78, 65, 51, and 50. So he's averaging 12 additional yards per game than the number he would need to get to 650. 650? That's insulting.
When you think about a per-game average, that's such a low number.
I think he's Dallas Goedert or something. They're just losing their mind.
Someone on the text line was asking about Rashee Rice being limited. They said they were here today, did not see in the team session.
Limited all
him and Snead are still in that program where they're out here, and then they have them go back up to the facility, continue their rehab. Yeah, they're ramping them up. So not unexpected, but yes, that's a big reason why Cyrus Allen is getting all these opportunities and
has been very good in them.
He's taking advantage of, but that's why, in large part. Now, I think even when Rice comes back, because of how good Cyrus Allen has done, I think they're going to continue to give Cyrus Allen first team reps, and just continue to see if they found a gem here. We'll see.
I looked up the definition for spruce. I think he probably wanted to say spry. Spruce would normally mean cleaner, neater, those things.
That's what he meant.
Maybe Travis does look cleaner. Maybe he's, he got a fresh fade, which I imagine he does before camp anyway. He probably gets his hair cut a couple times. Last camp he came in with long hair and then eventually took it all off, as you remember. And he, probably just too hot, sick of it, sick of dealing with it. I mean, I kind of get it, don't you? Like, it's this hot outside, the temptation to just not have to deal with it anymore, especially because he was rocking the slightly longer do. I will say, if you missed it earlier, Nate Taylor joined us. It'd be hard to be more excited about Cyrus than Nate Taylor is. And if you were looking to be like, hey, I want to just kind of temper my expectations, I wouldn't recommend going back for it. If you were all aboard the Cyrus Allen hype train, great news. Nate Taylor on the podcast earlier is happy to fulfill all your dreams. He continued to repeat the sentence, Puka Nacua was a 5th-round pick. As relates to Xavier Worthy got asked about him today at the podium, and he said, I tried to tell you all earlier in the offseason how good he was. So Xavier Worthy wasn't like cooling the flames on it either. He also said, I tried to tell you that guy's real good.
It's all great. I mean, it would be such a boost such a boost this year, and
they found a guy.
Just massive for 2027, and where we already know no matter what happens, the receiver room was going to be thin just because the guy's under contract. If he actually develops into something now, but by the end of the year, and he's suddenly someone you can count on 27, what a massive get that would be. I want to pump the brakes. Let's not act like
you're saying if it were to occur.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes. Let's not act like now they just found their number 2 or number 1 wide receiver just like that for the future. But there's a chance, and he's showing you everything you could possibly show this early in camp. He's giving you everything you could dream of so far. But let's see.
Pre-pads.
Let's see next week when the pads are on. Let's see a preseason game. All that.
What I'll say is that if he turned into, not Puka Nacua, let's just say an 800-yard guy, like a legit receiver immediately, day one contributor, like the way Rice jumped onto the scene. Like, right? Rice was a day one contributor. Yeah. If he turned into that, Alex, I think you'd have to completely rework your entire stance on this year's team.
No,
because
it
would completely fundamentally change what they're capable of if all of a sudden their offense has another guy who can contribute in that.
No, I'm with you there. We'll give our official predictions. If I think they're like a 10-win wildcard team, but suddenly Cyrus Allen is a legitimate wide receiver threat to go with Rice and Worthy, it changes everything. It really does.
Yeah. And not just because he can change it all, but it will.
And I know you're not. But
no, I'm
again,
not. I'm just saying that's
if that happens. I just want to be very careful because we've gone through this before. With
you and I are actually very safe typically.
I hope all the hype is warranted in Rio. The hype is warranted in terms of we're watching them do it and it's impressive, but warranted as in do the results actually come when it matters in the regular season, and the coaching staff have the trust. Mahomes clearly does. All that, it's a great sign so far early on here in St. Joe. Up next, let's get to what's trending. You'll also hear our conversation we had with Chiefs corner Nohl Williams on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Shawnee Mission Ford is under all new management, and Shawnee Mission is dealing because we all know summer's better at the lake, or maybe you're on that road trip, or you're needing something to haul that big backyard project you've been working on, and summer's just simply better in a Ford vehicle. So if you've not shopped Shawnee Mission Ford in a while, the rules have changed, but in your favor. They're never going to be undersold. They're going to always make you feel like family. In fact, if you bring them a written offer, any written offer on the same vehicle, they're going to either match it or better yet, they'll beat it, period, at Shawnee Mission Ford. And right now, the F-150 is even better. Get 2.9% APR plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash on the new 2026 F-150. That's right, only 2.9% with $1,000 of bonus cash, making the F-150 the truck you can afford this summer. You can shop them right now at ShawneeMissionFord.com. That's ShawneeMissionFord.com, or visit them just off I-35 on Shawnee Mission Parkway. Life's better in a Ford. Discover yours today at Shawnee Mission Ford. 2.9% APR with approved credit through Ford Credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Excludes Raptor. Dealer administration fee of $7.99. Price match applies to a valid written offer from a licensed dealer or on an identical in-stock vehicle with comparable mileage and the same trade evaluation. Exclusive apply. See dealer for details. $30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Score big with the DQ $7 meal deal. Crispy chicken strips, hot fries, a refreshing drink, and a tasty sundae. All for just $7. It's so much delicious food, you'll bring home the win every time. And keep on winning when you upgrade to a small Blizzard treat for just $2 more. Like the limited time Biscoff Cookie Blizzard treat. The $7 meal deal with a $2 small Blizzard upgrade for the win. DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
Kansas City football fans, Dane and Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yuengling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti. Number one on What's Trending, we are out here at training camp where we await what comes next, which is a padded practice on Monday. They got one more practice tomorrow, day off on Sunday. Cyrus Allen, once again the star out at camp this day, as he's continued to be one of the biggest names out at camp altogether. Ashton Gelati left practice a little bit early due to his hamstring injury, and he didn't make it seem like that was going to be a big difference. Omar Norman Lott remains out, as does Mansour Delane. So no changes, at least on that end, out here at camp today, as the injuries stayed about the same as they were before.
Next on What's Trending, the Royals are in Colorado tonight, taking on the Rockies. Michael Wacha makes the start. I mean, I guess there's a chance it's his last start in a Royals uniform, although the news is trending that it's not going to be. But
although the news is everybody's waiting for Scuba to get traded before any other pitchers get moved, starters. So, once Scuba gets moved, then maybe there might be a well or a dam that breaks, but we'll see which version it is. Next up on What's Trending, the Saints are signing wide receiver Chris Olave to a 4-year extension worth $132 million. I personally think that's too much for Olave. It's fine. $90 million guaranteed. Deebo Samuel also signed a one-year deal to go back to the 49ers.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, FIFA's chief senior advisor, kind of the right-hand man to Infantino, has resigned after the proposal that would allow private equity into the World Cup, 21% of the World Cup. Remember, UEFA yesterday had their announcement that they're boycotting the World Cup if that happens. CONCACAF said they're going to do the same thing. So you've got a lot of pressure now on Infantino as well. They claim, they being FIFA, that they're still moving forward with it. But look, if CONCACAF and UEFA, the European nations and the CONCACAF nations, are not going to play in the World Cup, well then there is no World Cup. So I don't know what's going to happen here. They're going to have to back off here. If not, we're going to have, unfortunately, the World Cup, we're going to have some new version of it, which is going to stink.
Yeah, that would be way, way, way worse. I'm still waiting for a couple of the other ones to do it. Mexico softened their stance a little bit. Maybe they were looking to get ahead, but we'll see. Next up on What's Trending, Tony Romo is officially on leave from CBS following his OWI arrest in Wisconsin. J.J. Watt will be filling in the time being for him, that according to multiple reports over on that. And we'll see what comes of it. But as at this moment, Tony Romo's on leave.
And lastly, some news that I'm sure our producer from earlier in the week, filling in, JT, would love. Wembanyama reportedly landing a signature shoe line in a Nike deal.
We need to get JT his own shoe deal.
That's right.
Man never takes them off.
Nope.
He said Nikes are the regular go-to.
That's right.
To go with it. How much do you think that shoe deal's worth?
Oh, for Wemby and Nike?
Big money.
Yeah.
Big money.
Any number wouldn't surprise me. You could say any number, and it would not surprise me whatsoever.
No.
That's what's trending. Don't forget, we're here in St. Joe, presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. All right, earlier today, Nohl Williams joined us after practice. He was our exclusive interview, and our player interviews on 96.5 The Fan from camp are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. We started our conversation asking him, year one to year two at camp, just does it feel any different for him?
I'm just, the best teacher or best thing I have coming into this camp is experience. So I know what I was expecting, and it just feels great out here. Good vibes. You gotta love the grind. So, I was just, it just feels familiar. I would say more familiar.
What do you think the getting into the off season, knowing how last year finished? Do you feel like there's a little extra heat with some guys, a little extra fire, knowing that they're trying to prove everybody wrong from how it ended last year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the standard around here. It's to get into the playoffs, win our division, and win Super Bowls. So, that's the standard, and that's the standard you have to upkeep every day. So it's for sure extra motivation. I mean, we know what we have to do. We just got to push the limit. We got to go even harder because things last year, it didn't work out for us, so you got to change things up a little bit, but still be us at the same time.
What was your individual focus this offseason? Andy Reid just talked, and we heard him mentioning that you and Spags, it sounds like footwork maybe was kind of a highlight. Just take us into your offseason from a football end, and we can get to some of the fun stuff here in a second, too.
Yeah, I would say, my footwork at the line of scrimmage, my hands, keeping my hands up, try to disrupt the timing between the QB and the wide receiver to, that just helps everything. You disrupt the timing, the whole play can be broken up, and it helps the pass rush, The line works with the coverage works with the line. So that and just keeping my eyes in the right spot, and then obviously playbook, get more familiar with the playbook for sure.
I think you were part of a group earlier this offseason talking about, just kind of the toughness of the coaching staff for this and Dave. What's your relationship like year one, year two with, I guess, just the staff and them knowing what you're good at this stage?
The expectation is take that year two leap. Can't be having rookie mistakes I had last year, and play like a vet. This is year two in the system. Some mistakes are just you can't have. So I would say, I feel like they believe in me. I believe in myself, and I just gotta compete for everything out there. Compete, to earn the starting job, and even on special teams, just knowing how to be a smart player, spring a block that can make a return. So all that comes into play, I've seen everything before. Now it's just about executing more on a higher level, you know.
We got Nohl Williams joining us here after practice on 96.5 The Fan. You mentioned kind of the vets and leadership and all that. What's it like having L'Jarius Sneed in that room with you? I know he's still going through his own rehab process right now, but just I'm sure you guys have spoken quite a bit. What have you learned from him?
Just, hearing him, just being a dog, I would say, just having that presence of, he was so good here, won the Super Bowl, and just having that presence in the room pushes me every day to be great because, at the end of the day, that's the guy I'm going to be grinding with, working with, competing with, so it raises my level of play. Same with the other guys.
No, I'll be honest. We tried to scrub social media looking for you. Are you, what kind of things is he into? What music does he listen to? Hobbies does the man have? You're not on social media hardly at all. Are you against it? You like staying off it? Do you lay in the weeds and look but not interact? How do you handle it?
I mean, I just took a little Instagram cleanse, just trying to figure out myself more this year, I would say. Yeah, I'm going to be back on there for sure. I just got to, make a couple plays, eventually, I'm going to try to do camps and all that, engage. But it was just this year I had to focus on me, just personal stuff. I got to get right with myself, try to use my time more wisely, I would say.
What kind of things do you do? What kind of things do you wish people knew about you outside of football? You got big hobbies, you stick games, anything. What kind of stuff do you get into?
I mean, I like to fish. Here and there I'm getting to fishing more. Believe it or not, I'm trying to read a little bit more, journal. I just be vibing, man. I mean,
what book are you reading?
It's called Man's Eternal Quest. And then, what was it called? There's another book, The Way of a Superior Man. And, those just, they're very insightful. I'm not too consistent right now. Obviously, with training camp.
Yeah. But what do you do when you I know some of the guys will play video games after practice in the evening or whatever. What's is it reading? What do you do? It's 8 o'clock or whatever, and you're
in the afternoon, in training camp.
Yeah.
Oh, I be tired. I get on the I get on the phone with my loved ones. I can't. I'm watching Game of Thrones right now. So
first time?
Yeah, first time.
What season?
I think I'm on season 6.
Oh, all right. There we go.
Yeah, man. So, but I haven't had time to because that's one of those things. It's an hour episode, and I'm getting to the dorm around 9. But I'm also, making my phone calls, whatever. It'd be 9:30. I'm like, I don't want to stop in the middle of the episode, and then I end up staying late.
For sure.
Staying up late. So it's I'm just on pause with that.
Now we're going to Vegas here in a couple of weeks. You started your college career at UNLV, right? And then you ended up at Cal.
Yeah.
We've been to Vegas. So it's not like we're newbies, but what's a hidden gem, like a food spot or something? You got something for us out in Vegas?
Ooh.
I know it's been a couple of years.
There's an all-you-can-eat sushi place. I forgot what it's called. It's been a while since I've been in Vegas. But
did you like it though? Did you have a good time?
It was pretty good. I forgot. It's there's cheap. I think it's Maryland. There's a degree. Go down Maryland.
Okay.
And then you make a left. Kind of it's all right. It's all right. Shady spot. Whatever. but there's a good little all-you-can-eat sushi place. It's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Then obviously you have. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Chiba Hut. Chiba Hut's good. Rice Krispies.
Nice.
Good sub sandwiches.
Okay.
And Chiba Hut's good. And then what else is a good spot? Ooh. There's just one place. They had a bowl named after my teammate. It's called the Naki Bowl.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That was fire. It was it's basically chicken and rice, but the sauce on it is fire.
Okay.
And it's right by In-N-Out. It's right by In-N-Out. It's In-N-Out, and then there's Asian place, but it's I forget the names because I
look up the bowl. I'll find it.
Yeah. Naki Bowl.
Now, do you have you ever ripped open sports cards? Rip some packs. You ever done? All right. So before we let you go, we've got a pack each. We're trying to maybe get see if we can get an auto. Let's see what we can get or something here. We opened a pack with Xavier Worthy on Monday, I guess.
I said if we get
Tuesday.
a card worth $20,000, can we split it? He said he wasn't sure.
Yeah.
All right. What did you get? Who you got?
Anything good?
Romeo Dobbs. He's a good receiver. Sweat. Ooh.
Who's that? Who we got?
Puka Nacua.
Puka, all right.
He's a good player.
A rookie for Abdul.
Abdul Carter.
All right,
Yep.
let's see. I got A.J.
Only
Brown.
come with 4?
Yeah, each pack. Yeah, we're trying to see. A.J.
Yeah.
Brown, Aaron
Okay.
Rodgers, Mac Hollins, and then Drake London.
I didn't
get anything. I got
Nothing.
Gore, Dylan Gabriel. I got Michael Pittman and Tyler Booker. Who's the toughest guy to guard in the league, not on the Chiefs? Since we saw Michael
On
Pittman.
the Chiefs or
Not
outside?
outside the Chiefs.
I don't think I faced him yet. We got some good receivers this year. Obviously, we're playing the Bengals, Seattle, Patriots, the Rams.
Who gave you the most trouble so far, you think?
Last year?
Yeah.
I don't think I got enough snaps in game to be like, dang,
yeah.
I can't, one rep, okay, you got me, but it's like I didn't play a lot of snaps, so I'm not gonna say, you gave me trouble,
more than
yeah.
and not I feel like the Dallas game, those are good receivers.
Yeah, that's a good group.
So that was Nohl Williams earlier today with us after practice. Remember, every practice, when it wraps up, a player will stop by and talk to us exclusively here on 96.5 The Fan. It's interesting, you asked him about wide receivers around the league, and he's like, well, maybe I haven't faced that toughest guy yet.
That's subtle confidence.
This year, though, look, you got JSN in Seattle you're going to face. You obviously have Puka and Cooper Kupp.
Jamar Chase?
Cooper Kupp, sorry, just Puka. Yeah, you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins out there in Cincinnati. Jalen Waddle's not a bad week one matchup. Now, he's not on the caliber of Chase, but Jalen Waddle's still a very nice receiver. So they'll be tested. Nohl Williams showed plenty of promise last year. I think he is on the short list of, if we were to break out 2 or 3 players that could be the breakout player for the Chiefs this year, from year 1 to year 2, Nohl Williams may be number 1, if not number 2 on the list.
He's definitely on the list. I mean, and partially because he's just going to play a lot. And all those wide receivers, by the way, they come later in the year. Not Waddle, because I think he's of a slightly different caliber. But just as we know their schedule is soft, Nohl Williams, I hope he's up and running and feeling good by the time they get to Rams, Bengals, 2 weeks in a row, then Patriots, who do have at least a somewhat decent wide receiver there going into it. So, I mean, he'll face some of the bigger names in the league this year.
People texting in, they think they figured out the sushi place he was talking about.
Okay, what is it?
Someone said they think it's called It Is Sushi.
It's sushi, huh?
Now, I won't go there, but
I didn't want to ruin it for him. I will.
The other place,
I like sushi.
Other place sounds good.
It's sushi, he says.
So what do you say, Chiba Hut? Chiba Hut.
CHEBA is what I looked at earlier.
It looked like it's some
Chiba
good
Hut.
late night food. Some good munchy food.
Yeah, which we need sometimes we're out there in Vegas. By the way, of course, Fan Club Friday is brought to you by Jay Rieger and Company. So if you're just looking to get a cocktail this weekend, you know that they got some of the best spirits in the city. Plus, locally owned and operated. What's not to love about that? And, of course, by Circa Sports. Alex and I will be out there. Somebody on Twitch just the other day is like, man, I've never made it out there for contest weekend. What all do you get to do there? Well, let me give you a little heads up. Alex and I see all the stuff that the people who enter the contest during contest weekend get, which includes Thursday night. We always end up over at the D, and there's like the old horse racing machine. They've got an open bar for a couple of hours, so we all hang out, or at least you get a couple of drinks. Everybody goes and gets a couple of cocktails over there. And then on Friday, there's a 4-hour open bar is what I think it is, at Stadium Swim. So Alex and I just sit in the pool and hang out and drink from like noon to 4, I think is what it is. And then they got something at the Legacy Club, which is the bar all the way at the top of Circa.
You can see the strip.
And they have fireworks go off for all the people who were up there as a part of that event. So you can see the whole strip. It's kind of like a glass patio area, so you can kind of look over everything there in Vegas. So
yeah, can't wait for that.
It's fun.
Thanks to Circa Sports. Now people are just texting in good Vegas spots. Yeah, I have been to this one. Someone says Hash House a Go-Go, huge place. Yeah, the pancake goes over the plate like it's a massive breakfast place.
Hash a Go-Go, huh?
But we like a couple of spots we go to in Circa, so we'll be.
Yeah, we always go to 8 East, and you and I usually get a steak dinner at Barry's.
The
and
brisket fried rice at 8 East. That's my favorite thing.
You get to have it a couple times a year maybe this year. Because we might, Alex and I, if you're planning a trip, Alex and I might very well be out there in August again. Or October again. Yeah. We're not 100% sure, but there's a pretty good chance. We'll be there in August. There's a pretty good chance it's early October. It's like that first week
Chiefs
of October.
Raiders.
For Chiefs
Could it be Mendoza's first game? Or will it be Kirk Cousins still?
It depends on how bad Kirk Cousins is.
It does. I think
that's really the answer.
I think Kirk is at least starting a month into the season. I think he's at least got the first month.
I think if Tom Brady's got this whole you need to sit behind a veteran plan, I think it's going to be half the year. I don't think that unless Kirk Cousins gets hurt or stinks like is the worst quarterback in the NFL, I think it's going to be like 8-9 games before we eventually see Mendoza. But I could be wrong.
Someone asking if you and I are splitting the honeymoon suite again. Nope, not this time. Nope, we decided against it. You know, we've done it all the other times. We decided this time to get our own rooms, yeah.
We all like a heart-shaped tub as much as the next one. That's not even a thing anymore.
I like the rose petals on the bed and everything when we show up, so, yeah.
No, Alex and I get our own digs.
No, I love Circa.
It's a good trip for us. We love going out there. Yeah. Circa is adults only, so if you were just like, I'm going to Vegas and I don't want to, I have kids, I'd like a break from them, and I'd like a break from all children, Circa's 18 or 21 up.
I think secretly for you, now obviously it puts a lot of stress and pressure on your wife.
Can't take the family.
But I will say for you, it must be nice for like 2 days to just...
It's weird. It's weird to just be like, well, can't help it all, so see ya.
Your poor wife.
Well, and that's not a busy trip for it. That's not like when we go to Radio Row and you and I have 7,000 things to do. It's quite different than that.
Someone from the 816 said, I'm taking my son to Vegas for his 21st. That's awesome. August 30th through September 3rd, are you guys going to be there? I believe we will just have missed you, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
That would have been fun, but we are going to be there the 26th, leave the 29th. So, unfortunately, we're going to miss you guys by a day.
Move it up.
There Wednesday night through Saturday. But that's, 21st birthday in Vegas, hell yeah.
Where'd you go for your 21st? Somewhere out in Lawrence?
I did not. Yeah, just some bars around town. I didn't travel anywhere. We just did.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Locally, yeah.
I went to several bars in Kansas City. Yeah. Kelly's was one of them. Not surprising by me. I've told you before. Somebody was yelling at me that I was going to puke in a trash can outside of Kelly's. I didn't, but I thought I was going to. And I was standing over it, and some guy was.
You were contemplating it.
He was well, I thought I was going to. The guy was yelling at me, "You loser! You're going to puke in a trash can!" And then someone said, "Hey man, it's his 21st birthday." He's like, "Oh man, have a good night." He just let it go immediately. Some drunk idiot.
That's going to do it for us here from St. Joe today. Next week, we're up here starting on Monday. We'll be out here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.